welcome, motherfuckers, to episode 28 of the Talking Shit Podcast. I am Dr. Evil Genius.
And I am Captain Paul. How you doing there, Evil?
Well, this was definitely a show that we needed to do. Definitely a show that needed to be done. But it was a very difficult. Shout out to Clinks. What up, buddy?
What up there, bud?
This is a very difficult thing. So I'm gonna kind of start off, letting the audience know how this all came to be. So I got home from the gym yesterday, and I was taking a shit, and I get a text message from Captain Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain Paul is like, check out this video from ABBA and Preach.
Mm.
And I'm like, what is going on? And my heart sank immediately. Immediately, I was just like, this is going to be a major fucking problem.
Mm.
I did not watch the video at that point. But I knew that this was a bad thing. See, when Captain Paul and I came up with the idea for the Talkin' Shit Podcast in 2020, we went through several different iterations of how we were going to approach these shows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And there were several content creators that we were able to agree on.
Yeah.
Really, two. There were two sets of content creators that we agreed that we would take inspiration from for how they run their shit. Okay.
Mm.
So the few would be before the bullshit, the Joe Budden podcast.
Yep.
Okay. Flagrant 2. Shout out to those boys. Even though sometimes, they run off at the mouth, about other people's business that they don't know about. But other than that, love those guys.
Yep.
ABBA and Preach and Fresh and Fit. And we have shouted out Fresh and Fit on this channel. We have shouted out ABBA and Preach on this channel. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We've done what we can do to show the proper respect to both sets. And, I looked at the thing that I was most impressed with Fresh and Fit was the studio space that they put. You could tell that they put a lot of TLC.
A lot of hard work into, man. Like,
yeah, the design, what's on the screen, what's not on the screen. There was stuff that they had that was too much, and they took that stuff away. They were really in tune with getting the production process the way that it needed to be. Okay? So that was always an inspiration for me for how to run a show.
Mm.
Okay? Now, everybody knows that I'm a big supporter of Kevin Samuels because he speaks for us men. Not because we men follow Kevin Samuels, but because Kevin Samuels was a man who had the courage to forego any kind of, branding or, he wasn't going to get any endorsements or anything like that because he
just wanted to build it his own way.
You said what?
He wanted to build it his own way, not be tied down and say something.
I mean, of course he's going to build it his own way, but he's never going to get an email from PepsiCo.
That's what I'm saying. He's
never going to get an email from those people because he is speaking on behalf of men. And you know that is a cardinal sin in today's society.
Mm.
Okay? So, enter in Myron Gaines. And I'm going to let you guys know from the very beginning, when it comes to the Weeks guy, I never really had a lot of respect for that guy. I'm just going to be blunt. The dude just looks super awkward all the time. And it looks like he is trying to project himself as somebody who has pomp and circumstance to try to create his pomp and circumstance.
He's playing a character.
That's how it came off to me.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I had the same exact feeling. I always felt like he was trying to play this character and be somebody that he truly wasn't. Right?
I mean, think about this.
He always came off as corny. He just did.
My thing is that I love the fact that they were putting themselves on Front Street, and this is more a feather in the cap of Myron Gaines. I've given a lot of props, kudos, respect to Myron Gaines, and this is why I get really angry. I gave that guy a lot of respect that I don't normally give people anywhere. I gave Myron Gaines more respect than I give Captain Paul.
Yo, fuck you. God damn it.
But nah, all jokes aside, Myron Gaines didn't hide behind some corny, fucking... Who the fuck names themselves Fresh Prince CEO? Nigga, what the fuck are you a CEO of? Please tell me. Like, he was watching Will Smith, with a multicolored bike hat turned backwards 25 years ago and say, you know what? That's my branding.
Yeah, you're not right.
But I let him live. Why do I let him live? Because I believe that he was providing a much needed outlet. Him and Myron together providing a much needed outlet to inform these delusional young women of what reality actually is. So they serve, and even as I sit here today, denouncing these two men, they have value. And the fact that they have value makes what they did all the more egregious. So, let's get into... We're going to react to the video that Captain Paul sent to me. Okay, we're going to go over this shit. Because I watched this video in distress. I watched this video in terror. This was a terrible experience for me. And you're about to find out why. So, let's roll it.
Topic. All right, seems like the guys from Fresh&Fit are really upset.
We are better than you niggas. Period.
People want to know our thoughts. I'm going to keep it really brief. All right? I don't have much thoughts on their platform. Are they
Wait. Anybody check out the fact that it looks like he's wearing a Manscaped t-shirt?
Yeah, he is.
I don't remember ever seeing him wearing a branded t-shirt. Because that is one of their sponsors. Kind of weird. Let's continue.
doing some good things for some people? I'm sure. I have no doubt. I'm not even denigrating that. We just came at them for their ideas in regards to paying for box and all this stuff. Thought it was full of shit.
I'm like, yo, real ass niggas don't pay for box.
Even more, what I find really distasteful is you come to find out that Myron Gaines himself, right, the so-called pickup artist, the master, has his own seeking arrangements account. His own.
Oof. That is a big fucking fail. Like, just look at that, bro. Look at
I have that. So
I'm sorry. Like, look at him just holding the dog, right? Like, just.
I don't have a problem with that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do.
See, the thing is, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with the thing itself. Because we know that wealthy men, we have an understanding that wealthy men understand that women are not going to be in their lives because the women think that these guys are just good guys that they want to get to know. Right. We have this understanding going in. Mm-hmm. Okay? So if you are in that upper echelon and you have this nihilistic view or a realistic view, some people look at it that way, that these women are not here for you. They're here for what you can give to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the game you want to play? Play the fucking game. I don't have a problem with it. But here's what I have the problem with. Besides this really cheesy
Own profile. All right.
This is cheesy. 1% man? What?
I mean, but like, are
Like,
you
who
really,
names themselves that?
bro? Are you really surprised though? Like, honestly, from a guy. That,
Well,
that
I
portrays himself that way?
before what I saw, because I didn't watch the Fresh and Fit podcast that touched us, that did all of that. I didn't, okay. I didn't.
I'm just saying this, bro. Is that like, and we have different viewpoints on this. Is like, it's just extremely hypocritical. Which you says,
That's my fucking issue with it.
yeah, but like you says that's not even the worst offense here, right? But it
No,
is
this is not even the worst offense, folks.
so
We're gonna
it-
get into it.
So it's just, to me, it's very laughable from a guy that's like, oh, I don't pay, I don't do that. Nah, that's some sucker shit. That's some simp shit. Like, he's calling everyone else a fucking simp. When I'm sorry, bro, that is just, to me personally, like, that's just simp behavior. I'm sorry. Like, in a lot of regards, the way he act, the beta male, the way the aggression, like it like what, like it was like a little kid acting out in anger, right? Just the
Yeah.
way their video went about, the energy it went about. And it's just a type of dude that's like, oh, I don't pay. And then find out, bro, he has to pay. And then we'll go into the Weinstein stuff. But like, it's just
No. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay.
all right.
So let's just start right here. What has he been telling men? And again, nobody can challenge my understanding of their curriculum, because I was watching them religiously on a nightly basis for several months straight. So I definitely know what the fuck I'm talking about. But they tell these guys, don't use prostitution. They even tell guys, do not watch prawn. They even tell guys, no FAP. Right? Go, put the burden on yourself to get better, to actually earn sexual access. I don't necessarily have a problem. I don't necessarily have a problem with that message, okay? But you're going to see that the message starts to fall short and shorter and shorter and shorter over time when you understand that what comes out of their mouth isn't necessarily how they conduct themselves.
They portray themselves a certain way, but they actually move in another. And that's the biggest problem with all of this, is that when you build up this persona that you don't pay for box, you're an alpha male, and you're about what you talk about, and then it's obviously shown that you're just a beta bitch. It's just to me, and I know this affected you a different way. It was kind of laughable watching this happen and unfold, because this happens in every different genre on YouTube, where somebody will build themselves up, put their character, like they'll portray themselves in a certain way. But then when you get like down to the nitty gritty and actually find out who truly that person is, they're a piece of shit. Like I'm not surprised, because we've seen this over years and years and years. Both of us have, right? Of content creators that we would enjoy and we partake. We're like, okay, like, yeah, that's good content. But then later on, you find out when the truth comes out, oh, well, like, they're really not what they say they are, and they're just pieces of shit. So I don't know. I wasn't necessarily as surprised. And for me personally, when I've watched Fresh and Fit, I do think there's some inspiration. I respect their hustle. And I do think some of the things they have said still have merit, right? I'm not going to, say nothing they've said in the past.
And that's part of the problem. They still have merit.
There was valid points. But that being said, even some of the behavior I saw on the podcast, it screamed like a guy that's trying to like act like an alpha because he doesn't know how, like I don't know how to put it eloquently, but him being loud and fucking brass and like fucking puffing out his chest, like he thinks that's alpha. Like to me, that's just beta energy. You know what I mean? Because true men are able to have a civil and calm discourse. Now, mind you, do we roast each other back and forth? Maybe get loud, laughing jokingly, in like a roast session.
But it's obvious to the audience that it's civil.
It's obvious that like it's civil. And that's like when you lose rational thinking and you lose civil discourse with something like that, to me, you're no longer alpha. You lost the discussion. Like, you know what I mean? You lost that debate because you're no longer thinking like with your head, you're thinking with your emotions. And
what have they been preaching? Exactly. What have they been preaching during their meteoric rise about facts over feelings? They talk about that a lot. They talk about, well, stick to the subject, attack the thought, not the person. Like they'll have a bunch of these emotional women come in there talking about, oh, I feel like this, and they make fun of them for the feeling stuff. And then what the fuck did we just see from them when somebody attacked an ideal and said, you know what, we think you're capping? Yep. And what did they do? Well, we're about to find out.
This is on the web. You can find it. This man's out here talking about don't pay for box, don't pay for box. He's on a website for sugar daddies and sugar babies. Okay. All right. You want to be a giant hypocrite? Do your thing, okay? Then you come to find out this man's talking about, listen, we want website for sugar daddies and sugar babies. No. Okay.
Nah. We gotta roast this.
Only four. That's corny as fuck. I'm sorry. Look at that. God damn. Yeah, so like to me, doesn't that scream somebody that's like
projection?
Yep. Just crazy.
Ugh. I mean, this speaks for like, who the fuck talks like this?
You know what it reminds me of? I had a fucking good one. It reminds me of people in high school that like put dating profiles like very early on in college, like yeah, baby, like I'm tough, I got like it's just corny, bro. Like it's just this is the type of dude that's so insecure within his own frame, right? Like what's one thing like that we talk about?
Cocky.
Like, bro, what do we always talk about staying within your masculine frame, bro? Like to me,
who repeats that over and over again, Paul? Who repeats that phrase over and over and over again?
They do, bro, and you do. They do. Like they.
Well. Let's keep note of that. Let's continue. Let's keep note of that.
You want to be a
right
giant
there.
hypocrite? Do your thing, okay? Then you come to find out this man's talking about, listen, we want burning desire from ladies. Ain't that what they say? Right? You want to get their best, so you got to earn it. Come to find out, this man's telling girls in the DMs that if they want to come on the platform, they have to fucking.
Nah, see this.
That's fucking disgusting, man.
This
that's
right here.
Disgusting, bro. It's ridiculous, man.
Right here. This.
Why does this dude?
This is enraging.
It's absolutely disgusting, this type of behavior, bro. And you know what he does, right? Because me and Evil had a conversation when I was driving home from the tugboat after working for a couple of weeks. Came home, we had a good conversation, and it actually more stuck because I wasn't really. I laugh at a lot of this drama shit, right? But this I did like when we had the conversation. I kind of glanced at it for a second because I was working at the time, and then I read this and I'm like, bro, like. Isn't this the same shit that like Weinstein and like these other Hollywood executive producers have done in the past to, women that are trying to get a position, right? You know what I mean? Like
Weinstein started the Me Too movement. Yep. He started this shit.
Yep.
And this is why, and this is where I get emotional. You want to talk about, out of masculine frame? Yes, I'm out of masculine frame. I'm enraged. This is disgusting. And why is this disgusting? Why? Well, it turns out that, with me doing what I do, I put out what the fuck I thought. And what would you What do you know? Abba and Preach pins whose comment to the top? If you go to the Emperor Has No Clothes video, it is my comment that is pinned to the top, folks. That text screenshot fucks up Myron's reputation with me. That's beyond scummy. Pay close attention, folks. I am very RP aware. But that I didn't stop at misogynistic. This is some ultra misogynistic shit. Because we've seen on their show where they will say something that's true. And then the response that comes back from the girls is, well, you're a misogynist. And then he says, well, prove I'm a misogynist. And they can't do it. Well, sir.
Now they can.
Well, sir. You just handed it to them on a single... What? I am not going to collaborate with you unless we fuck?
Bruh. So, like, it's absolutely disgusting. It's immoral.
Oh, my God.
It's absolutely...
Oh, my fucking God.
It's deplorable behavior. And you know what? Altogether, what makes me question this altogether as him as a human being is, like, when he sat there, right, on his phone or standing, typing that out, right? He didn't, like,
and this nigga thought that he was a... He thinks he's up here.
Yeah, bro. Like,
He's typing this shit thinking this is acceptable.
But, like, my thing is, right, you don't just read what you put and then, like, put, you know what, I'm capping a little too much. I'm going a little too hard right here, man. Like, I need to chill. But, like, who is this arrogant, right, to think that won't come out when you talk to a random female like that, bro? Honestly. And, like, this is my thing. We disagree on this. I'm not surprised by this type of behavior by this dude because I see, like, mind you, the women he brings onto his shows, and let's just call it how it is, it's not like it's very high intellectual women. He finds some thoughts, desperate and stuff like that, man. Like, desperate to get on and stuff like that. Like, not the most intellectual people, man. But even sometimes the shit, like, mind you, some of the women deserve him kind of being like, yo, get the fuck out. Mm-hmm. But how loud he would get with certain women, even when they weren't that super disrespectful or that annoying, it's telling to me as a man, right? Like, for me, personally, me yelling and screaming and getting highly out of my masculine frame with a woman into a screaming match, like, yo, fuck you, get the fuck, like, I think that's beta shit to me, right? Because as a man, I'm bigger, stronger usually than a woman, right? Like, I just think it's corny. I always thought this dude had that type of energy. Now, I obviously didn't know it was to this fucking level and degree, but I'm not completely surprised because this type of dude has always seemed to me like playing a little bit of a character because he always tries to portray himself.
Yo, dude, you're right. You're right. You know, actually, I'm sitting here running through my mental because I have a very, very good memory, and I'm sitting here running through my mental Rolodex. And then I just took what you just said to me just now. And then I kind of juxtaposed that with a kick out of a guy, you know, this rapper I had never heard of.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He had him on the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was something that I noticed then, but I gave him a pass. Because you don't want to end up in a fist fight during your show. So I gave him a pass for this. But have you noticed, if you guys go back and you look at that where he's like, yeah, we kick niggas out too. When he kicked the guy out, it really wasn't a kick out. There was no Frank Castle there. It was no Frank Castle there. It was, you know what? I need you. I'd like you to leave. That's what he said. With the women, he says, "Get the fuck out."
Exactly.
But during that one particular episode, right? The only time he used an expletive in reference to that man was after he came back, and the dude was already on the other side of a locked door and gone.
Yep.
That's when he was like, "Get the fuck out of here." You're not gonna disrespect my platform. The fuck out of here. But I'm like, wait. where was that kind of aggressiveness when he was standing there in your fucking face?
Yep. Because he's pussy. Because he's not about that life. And I'm sorry, he's just not, man. I don't care. Like, there's a lot of big in shape dudes that can't fight. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, we're gonna get into that. So let's not get ahead of that. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I'm just saying, you keep going.
You know, but this for me, this is the end of Myron Gaines for me, and it causes me a lot of internal distress because here is a guy, despite his faults, because no matter what you want to say about anybody, all of us are imperfect. All of us fall short.
Yeah, 100%.
There is not a single perfect person you know, especially when you look in the mirror. You're not looking at a perfect person. So I gave him a little bit of play simply because what he was bringing was vital. Did we always agree with the way that he brought it? Not really.
No.
However, part of how egregious this is based upon how useful his message was. So what the opponents of what he'll have to say will say, well, look at him. He's a Weinstein. And that's why you shouldn't believe that a woman has to compete for the man that she wants. No, women still do have to compete for the men they want. But this motherfucker saying it and then acting in this manner, opposite. Because, again, another thing, how many times have we seen them say to girls on the show, we don't need you. And the only reason why we're telling you what we're telling you is because we don't have any interest in having sex with you.
And look at him. And look at that screenshot. It's like I'm saying, man.
We're going to tell you the truth because we're not trying to fuck.
But he's trying to fuck in that screenshot. He's been trying to fuck all these girls, bro, because he's desperate for pussy, bro.
And to stand by it. I'm not collaborating with you unless we fuck.
Yo, doesn't that sound... Yo.
But he couldn't stop there. He couldn't stop there with the grossness. He couldn't stop there. Because right there, because I've heard women say, "Oh, Myron Gaines is a e-parist." And shout out to Donovan Sharp for giving me that one because we don't want to say the e-par backwards. Okay. Oh, he's an e-parist. What proof do you have? I was always in that camp. What proof do you have? Because he didn't touch you. How are you going to say that he's a blah, blah, blah?
And have no evidence.
And no evidence. But then you say,
yeah,
I'm not collaborating with you unless, and yo, I gotta tell you guys something. As an aside, I gotta go there because ever since puberty, I've had a problem with this. What is it with some niggas who want to force sexual access with a woman who's uninterested in sex? Why do you want to have sex with a woman that doesn't want to have sex with you? How much fun can you have with a woman that doesn't want to fuck you?
Because
why would you want to get in bed with a woman who needs to get high or drunk to expose herself to you? She's saying you're not good enough. I got to get fucked up to deal with you. And then you claim that a woman is lucky to be with somebody over 6'2", who makes $300,000 a year, who's got six-pack ass, blah, 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 blah.
The only thing I'll give this...
But this is also you? Which one is it, fine sir?
That is him, bro. Right there, man. How you act, right? What he's portraying to the world isn't him as a person. This is him as a person. I'm sorry, like how you move in life and how you move in private is how you are.
And when you're talking about the girl power movement followers, okay, take a look at the next sentence. You have fucked a bunch of dudes I know and aren't special. So whoa. I don't want to put words in a man's mouth. But are you implying that because she gave sexual access to somebody else, that you then have the right to get sexual access because apparently she's been ridden more than Seattle Slew.
Yep.
Shout out to Jim Carrey.
Isn't this just to me shows
She owes you access to her body because she gave it to somebody else? What?
Yo, you know what he sounds like in that? An incel. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you know those weirdos that believe women should just like, yo, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I hate that this dude has had come that that's like some incel weirdo fucking freako shit to me. Because I'm like, bro, like, listen, I ain't no feminist. You ain't no feminist. We both believe in men should be treated a certain way and men should move in life in a certain way.
Read the sentence for me.
Disgusting.
Read the sentence for me. Read this sentence.
I'm very RP aware, but that's some ultra misogynistic shit. And I hate that word with a passion. I'm mad they made that word come from me. Listen, bro, I do too. I hate it.
This is my focus. This. Because when we developed the Talking Shit podcast, it was going to be on a political unification platform.
Mm-hmm.
But after seeing other content creators like Kevin Samuels, and let's go there with Kevin Samuels, okay? Has any woman been able to post receipts of Kevin Samuels pulling some shit like this?
No.
But we got to hear every day about how he's a misogynist and he hates women. And the only thing he's saying is, hey, black women, raise your fucking standards for your own decorum and raise your standards for the kind of men that you choose so that if you're a black woman that wants to get with a black man and you create a black family, that's how we bring back the black community. And they have the nerve to call him a misogynist for this? What?
I just think when it comes down to it, it is very telling. It is very telling of a man how he is, his true character, how he moves in private.
When he thinks nobody's looking.
Exactly.
Because notice that this happened in somebody's inbox. It did not happen on somebody's post for the world to see. And the thing is that prawn chick that they had on there, and they had like the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, going, you know, the weird thing, you know? Mm-hmm. I questioned her. I took his word over her. Why? Because I don't believe in hashtag believe all women. I don't believe in that. You're going to have to bring proof. Well, guess what? One of these women did. She brought proof.
And now it's going to be curious to see how many other women come up with certain similar stories. That's going to be interesting.
Yo, check out the gaslighting. Check out the gaslight attempt here.
Go ahead
and screenshot the conversation to clout chase. You know what he was trying to do? He was trying to use reverse psychology because he thinks that he's the smartest motherfucker in the room.
And he's not.
Oh, she's not going to screenshot this if I say go ahead and screenshot this. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I guess you don't know women all that well.
No.
Because we all know a rapey dude when we see them. Yes, men in the manosphere, men that support and respect men, can see that you are a rapey motherfucker.
Well, and this is what I'll say, bro. This is going to be your response. Look what he said down below. I don't care what 75 simps had to say to White Knight. You, bro, listen. If he ever called the simps, called me a simp, I'll be, listen, bro. I don't have to, like, eat parp to get pussy. Like, I'm sorry. I don't have to.
I don't have to go on seeking arrangements and lead with my wallet. Because remember, it's his. It's Weeks. Weeks keeps saying, don't lead with your wallet, right?
Yep.
But I don't know. If we go back.
1%
if we go back here.
Only 4% of the male population is over 6'2". Less than 3% of males make over 300K.
Why? What? Make over 300K? What?
A year.
Marbles?
No.
Pairs of shoes?
Only 5% of men
polka
are
dots
shaped with abs.
Painting.
You lucked out.
300K what?
You lucked out. I'm one with all of them. Like, it's just stupid. It's corny as fuck. Like, I'm sorry, bro. They
keep saying, don't lead with your wallet.
Dude, this is the type of dude that gets none unless he pays for it. And like, that's just, it is what it is. And I don't even, like, we gotta have a whole different discussion on the paying for it shit. But it's like, bro, like, don't be about what you're, like, don't try to, you know, walk. If you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk. It shouldn't be that difficult. Don't make a whole persona on a platform that tries to be, you know, that's something that you're not. And you know what? There's always been hints and clues that these guys truly weren't this like characters they built themselves up to be. But you kind of turn a blind eye, like, all right, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But like, just seeing all this come out and just thinking back on more of the interactions they've had, I'm like, they're just,
because now you gotta take every interaction they've ever had with anybody, and now you gotta run it through a different filter because the benefit of the doubt is completely dead. Seditionalist says, I make over 300,000 farts in a lifetime. Now I gotta think for myself, did I make close to that amount yesterday?
Shit, you might have.
I know, Corey's in the house. 81 says, man is down bad and is scamming and is grifting to cope. Show is literally a hard cope. Now, this is very interesting because I don't want to get too far ahead of this. You know what?
Let's keep
I want everybody to remember this comment because we're going to let Abba and Preach speak for themselves on this right here, but I want everybody to remember this comment. All right?
A girl who just wants to come on the platform for clout, and you think that's burning desire? And again, guys, I don't even care that he goes about that way to bang girls. Do whatever you want. You earned your platform. Go ahead. Me, it's the hypocrisy of these ideas. You preach to these men that they have to always seek this thing, that this is the way to live, that this is the best way, but you don't even walk the talk. That's what I find distasteful. It's like a Derek Jackson talking about be faithful to your wife, don't pay for box. Come to find out this man's cheating on everyone. How are you any different?
Wait, did they not roast the shit out of Derek Jackson?
They did.
And this, you know, one of my relatives said something to me when I was young. She says, be careful that you don't hate people because when you do, you will become who you hate. And they did all that talking about Derek Jackson being a fucking liar and throwing men under the bus.
Different. Can you tell me? Now everyone's gonna get, well, you know, we're attacking people in the manosphere. I don't care about the manosphere. I don't care about none of this. Move with integrity in life. That's it. I'm not here about some scene.
This is not about the manosphere. It is, but it isn't. Okay? He is saying, keep that same energy. That's what he's saying. Because the only people that get respect, and this is more so men than women. Okay? Keep that same energy. Because we men, as Myron Gaines says all the time, it is us men that have the burden of performance. It's us. And part of your performance is making sure that the shit that comes out of your mouth is also being put into practice, which we will see going forward that, you know, you weren't really on the up and up with that.
Nope.
Oh, you can't go on this podcast. I don't care. At the end of the day, the truth remains the truth. When I came into the game, when I was listening to Patrice, we didn't call it red pill. We just called it the truth. These niggas is fronting on some points. That doesn't mean they're not helpful to you. Maybe if you're one of their fans, right? Maybe they help you with finances, fitness. Maybe even they helped you with game. I don't know. But all we talked about were these ideas and how they were hypocritical.
Here's the thing.
You guys been blowing us up, man.
Yeah, you guys been blowing us up with DMs and everything. Apparently, Abba and Preach decided to make a video talking smack out of nowhere, out of left field, and it's funny about capping and paying for box. And I was like, didn't we talk about this several months ago? Like, why are you guys bringing this up like now? Like, what the hell?
We're trending, man.
Yeah.
The only reason we brought it up later is because we already covered a couple of videos from.
All right, so
Okay,
we're gonna run this back because this is where I gotta levy at least a small amount of criticism for
Abba and Preach.
For Abba and Preach. Like I kind of have to. So let's replay this.
And I was like, didn't we talk about this several months ago? Like, why are you guys bringing this up like now?
This I'm again, we're talking about two sets of content creators that, well, I lost love for one set, but these are guys that I respected in these YouTube streets. Whoa. Did you notice that there is a pair of red high heel shoes in front of their YouTube plaque?
Yeah, that's weird. It's really weird.
I don't know if you guys can follow my mouse right here. What the fuck is this?
I think Myron wears them.
Okay, well.
I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
And the thing is, again, like you start to see, it's kind of like, you know, it's something I noticed when I was in high school, right? Not even high school. It was middle school as well, right? You know the pretty girl in the class?
Mm-hmm.
And all the boys go home and fap into a dirty sock over that girl. You know that girl.
Yeah.
Right? But then she opens her mouth.
Oh, Jesus.
Or more specifically, she realizes the power this newfound power she now has over half of the classroom. And then you start to see that she can't really handle that amount of power, that amount of influence, right? And then she starts acting the way that a lot of girls act when they've gotten power that they're not mature enough to deal with. You start noticing the flaws in their physical appearance at that point. And then after a while, you're like, wow, she's really not all that. And when you look at Myron Gaines, because I have to say this about Mr. Weeks. Notice I cannot call him by that other name. I just I can't do it. Mr. Weeks over here, he was always second fiddle.
Yeah.
Myron Gaines is a star of the show. That's just what it is.
But there's nothing wrong being a B mic though. There's absolutely nothing being wrong with a B mic. Sometimes it's chemistry.
No. I'm not saying that at all. But he's a D mic personality. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. He's not even a B.
Okay.
C, D. I'd say an F mic.
Like I would say that their producer is smoother than he is. And have you noticed that when the women get out of line, Weeks never says a thing to them. He's always. When have you ever seen him kick somebody out, male or female?
Actually, I don't think ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
But the producer has. The producer gets more respect from the F&F audience than he does. So in a lot of ways, he's already a C or a D mic as it is. And he's only one of two people that's on the screen. How are you third fiddle when there's only two people on the screen and you're one of them? And then you start playing it back through a different lens and you're thinking, you know what? If we're being honest, the thing that they have going for them is A, the work ethic, because you cannot dispute that. B, the studio, and then C, the landscape that you see outside the window. I mean, really, really think about it, right? Especially if you got Weeks up out of there, it would be a better show. Myron Gaines could do that show by himself. He doesn't need Mr. Weeks. If you replace these guys with really anybody else, they're going to be successful. if they're sitting in Miami, you got that view with this studio setup, which you still got to get them. You still got to give them respect for because they're the ones that set it up. They took their own money that they made in corporate America doing whatever it was that they were doing. They designed the space, but the space and the landscape make the view, make the show as popular as it is. But when you really break it down, they do the same show every single night. So you can say, yo, we're the hardest working podcasters in the business. But let's compare you to Flagrant 2. Flagrant 2 has to come up with new material for every podcast they do. They have to find different things to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Now, that's the after hours. We got to give them credit. We got to give them credit because during the day, when they run that show, they run a show that is worth running. They're talking about financial discipline and, financial knowledge. They're talking about, they bring in lawyers to help people navigate all kinds of things that, because that men are not treated equally in the court system. Not in the criminal court system, not in the family court system, not in divorce court. Okay? You want to talk about privilege? Men don't get any of that in the court system. So they were savvy enough to make the connections necessary to bring in lawyers to talk about at least what's going on in Florida law to help men, keep from being, trapped by some of the bullshit that's out there, right? But notice this. 2,000, 3,000 at the most. What draws the people?
The women. Because
they're now pulling 10, 12, 16,000, probably a little bit less now because I heard they lost a lot of subscribers after, someone posted evidence that, Myron Gaines may or may not have E-par'd somebody because he's got that E-par mentality. I dare somebody to challenge what the fuck I just said. Because then the next thing I would say to you is, good ma'am or sir, is what is the difference between that thing that he put in that woman's inbox and what Weinstein did? You tell me the difference. And I thought about this yesterday. What would have put Myron Gaines in a way where I would have said, you know what? Y'all fucked up attacking Abin Preach with the way you did, but I'll still rock with you. If he would have changed one thing, if he would have had the woman on the show first and then tried the smash. You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah, no, because then you would have had her on the show, and then
she would have already got the value. That brings me to another thing, Paul. I'm sorry, I gotta mention this. He keeps telling these guys don't watch Prawn, but then he's putting up Narcigram account handles and people's OnlyFans.
Isn't the same thing?
What?
Yeah.
Well, niggas gonna simp anyway, so if they're gonna simp, they should simp on our girls. Our girls? Nigga, what? Are you a sex trafficker? Our girls?
Yo.
Like, do you even hear how the words sound when they come out of your mouth?
Shit. No, you're not wrong. This dude. Like I said, there was inklings in the back of my head, like, even just gut feeling. He's not what he's talking about, and I'm not completely surprised. And I'll respect for the platform they have built.
Yeah, because they worked hard on it. They deserve credit for it.
Right, and I'll give them that. But let's be honest. Without those girls, and I'm just going to say it, show wouldn't be as popular. And I'm going to make a comparison here, right? Abba and Preach to me, and I'm not trying to do a dick comparison contest, but I'm going to do it anyways. Abba and Preach to me, a lot of their content is timeless in a way, right? Because
100%.
Because the way they make
and
their videos. I
disagree with some of their content too.
Exactly. I don't agree with everything they say, but it's timeless in a way because the way they give you the material, it's thought-provoking, or like it makes you have a discussion. Mm-hmm. Makes you have a discussion or a debate. Whereas I'm sorry, with Fresh and Fit, I have enjoyed some of their content, but like when they have the same type of show night in, night
It is
night,
very repetitive. They
it's
ask
very
the same
repetitive, and
questions
it's
in
boring.
the same order.
and they're asking the same type of bimbos, the same type of shit. It's just like, bro, they're club girls. It's like, what do you expect them to be? Fucking like psychology majors? No. So like for me,
But the psychology majors they bring on tend to be the most annoying.
I know that's true.
I'm not gonna front though.
That's
But you know,
true.
what's
Like
really
Bob
fu-
said, let's like a chemistry major, whatever. But what
Yeah,
I'm saying with
but you know
Auburn
what's
and
really
Preach,
funny?
it's just timeless.
You know what's really funny that you mentioned that about how the show is really repetitive. When we set out to build the Talking Shit podcast, and I'll say it again because I don't want anybody to get it misconstrued. I had a lot of respect for the Fresh and Fit podcast, the podcast. Most of my respect went to Myron Gaines. Okay, I gave a little bit of respect to Mr. Weeks because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he has a severe speech impediment that he has worked hard on. I got to give that guy major credit for that. Because if you listen to Mr. Weeks now versus 3 months ago, 6 months ago, it's night and day. You got to give him that credit. But other than that, Myron Gaines drives the show, okay? But here's the thing. When I took inspiration from the Fresh and Fit podcast, I knew that there was something unbalanced in their message, and that is this. Myron Gaines will tell you women don't care about men's problems. Women don't care. Women don't care. Most women just want a guy with clout because that's all they care about, okay? And then they'll bring on girls in a certain demographic to then confirm the bias, which is a cardinal sin of arguing. We're not looking for confirmation bias. Let's spread the energy around, okay? And one of the things that we want to tell you here on the Talking Shit podcast, which is that is just going to deviate from Myron Gaines' mostly truthful message, is that the girls that you see on the Fresh and Fit podcast after hours, they are not the majority of women. They are a sizable minority of women in their age group.
Yeah.
Meaning
Yeah.
that there are a lot of women like that, but I suspect that the percentage falls shy of 50%. Okay? The problem is that all of the chicks that are in your fucking face are of that caliber. But there are a lot of women who are silent, who are in the background, not calling attention to themselves. And these are women of substance. And this is why we don't go black pill. This is why we stay firmly in that red with a shade of purple pill. You're going to see a whole lot more red with us than you're going to see purple on this podcast. But we don't go black pill because we know better. Because I can tell you a million stories of women who have tried to manipulate me or otherwise harm me in some sort of shape, fashion, whatever. Paul got dumped by a chick because he took a shit in a toilet. Okay?
Yeah.
We've got stories. We got stories to tell. But what we're not going to do is sit up here and tell a lie that most women are blah, 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 blah. It's simply not the truth. The thing is that the women who are worth it are not out there in your face crying for attention. It just so happens that too many of us men have too low a standard for engagement with women where we judge them first, foremost, and exclusively on their physical attractiveness. Now, don't get me wrong, fellas, because I had to tell this to a woman that I unmatched with on Bumble yesterday, a so-called therapist, who, when I told her I'm a personal trainer, oh, it's so sad. It's so sad that, these girls, feel all of this pressure to... I said, I understand your sentiment, ma'am. However, there is another side to this. if you're a woman that wants a man of a certain caliber, you have to have the traits that he finds attractive. And in order for him to get your attention, he has to have the traits that you find attractive. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And that is an ugly, rude truth of reality. Her response is, I don't think our values align. Ma'am, did I tell you anything about my values? I told you what reality is, ma'am. I don't think our values align. But you're quick to say, I'm going to reject you now. Why? Because I didn't have the traits that you required. So you just confirmed what the fuck I said. Right?
Pretty much.
So yes, there are a lot of delusional women out there who believe that only men should meet the standards of women, but there should be no standards for women in the opposite direction. Yes, there are delusional women out there like that. I swipe left on these chicks all the time. I already did a video. I did a podcast for you guys. Was it like episode 26 on ways to avoid the pitfalls to avoid on dating apps. And I put on my Donovan Sharp cap and I spoke the womanese for you. There are a lot of delusional women out there. However, I don't believe that the most delusional among them, I don't believe that they are in the numbers of greater than 50%. And that's where our message deviates from the Fresh and Fit message. And I want to make that very, very clear. However, most of what they say is true. It's just super fucking repetitive. How many bimbos do you need to bring on to remind us that bimbos have very little value? And then they'll bring the same bimbos back on the show.
Yeah. Well, because
and then ask the same fucking questions, and there's the questions that they already answered in the past. Well, and now they're going to answer the questions differently so that they don't get roasted in your comment section.
Well, this is the thing, bro, and I'll just say it this way, is that I think they bring back certain women because they understand how easy that is to just be the more domineering person in the conversation.
I think it's because they want to leave some starch on their faces, and they think if they keep bringing them
on, you can't do these subliminals when I can't. That's for another podcast. Fuck you for that shit, because I want to vent about that. Fucking asshole. God, that's an inside joke like a motherfucker. This goddamn asshole. But when it comes down to this situation, because we've been going on a bit, and we've only gone a little bit into the video, is that Abba and Preach look far better coming out of this.
Oh, wait. Don't give it away. Don't let Abba show. Because the thing is, I didn't want to come on here and tell people what to think. I didn't want to come on here and tell people, Adrian does have a decent, they found their niche, but
the same exact women and the same exact women with the same questions, bro.
In the same order.
I get what you're saying, because there is familiarity with people when they watch a show and they find comfort in that, right? Very familiar. It's repetitive in a way.
The formula is the same, but
the content itself
is the exact same show every time. You get what I'm saying? But the thing is, I still watched it because it is still good to see how these women think. Yeah. Especially the women that you want. Because a lot of you niggas, I'm looking at you, a lot of you niggas out there only want the bimbos with the big titties and the filtered face with 17 pounds of makeup on and high heel shoes and all that shit. A lot of you niggas only look at those girls. So you need to watch Fresh and Fit to see how these women really think of you. But some of us have a little bit more of a refined taste. We're looking for something that's
a little bit better than that.
A bit better than that. Let's continue.
Ow, what the hell?
We're trending, man.
Yeah.
The only reason we brought it up later is because we already covered a couple of videos from that podcast and the second one after. And we did both podcasts on the same day. The first one, and then I came back later on for the second one. I completely forgot about the first one. So I covered the second one, and then months later, somebody sent me a link to it. It's like, hey, what did you think about this conversation? So I rewatched it. I'm like, hey, man, there's a lot of dumb things that were said. Let me cover it.
All right, can you pause that for a second?
Yeah, I got to ask you what you think of that.
Okay, so for me, right, and I love their channel. there's an argument to be made what he's saying is true. That being
I
said,
have to side with you on that too. Yeah.
That being said, it is a little kind of like, yo, we did this show several months earlier. Like, why are you making this now? You know what I mean? Like, there is kind of like a level. Like, if he made that video like a month even after the fact, you know what I mean? It would have made more sense.
Nah,
but,
it would have still seemed.
But like even several months, for me personally, with Abba and Preach, this did seem a little petty. I was like,
that is the word that came. That is the word that came to my mind. And you know what? I think that, and it's not up to me to tell Abba and Preach what to do because they have 1.4 million subscribers. We have 1/10,000th of that, if that.
I know, yeah, true.
Right.
Right.
I mean, we're largely irrelevant, but I want to let you guys know that you can help make us less irrelevant by subscribing to the Talkin Shit Podcast.
Oh my God.
bit.ly/TALKIN_SHT. Make us less irrelevant. Also, please send us a follow on Twitter and Instagram. And if you're on the YouTube platform, give us a follow on Twitch. It's really, really easy. It's the same handle. Okay? Please make us a little bit less irrelevant so that our true words can sound like it's worth more. Because we already know, according to Fresh and Fit, that, you know, the amount of let me shut the fuck up. I'm gonna let them say it. But please make us more relevant, folks. Also, if you want us to have a collaboration with other YouTubers and then you want us to respond to it 3 or 4 months late, send those requests right here. Talkin Shit Podcast LLC at gmail.com.
You're so stupid.
Okay? So many levels. Because I would love to get into a situation where we respond to some shit 3 or 4 months late, and then we get 700,000 views on a video. I know, folks. This is low hanging fruit. This is dishonorable. But we need to eat. All right. This microphone cost me $500. Okay. Okay. So, moving right along. And also, shout outs to Traditionalist for always taking care of the links in the chat. He's always taking care of us. I keep forgetting that we need to make him a mod on the channel. Let me take a slight intermission to right that wrong, because I've been kind of fucking up on that. So please, folks, just, you know,
give him a split second.
You know what I mean? I gotta right this wrong. If this motherfucker won't let me log the fuck out of here so I can log into TSP, I mean, shit.
Like, I think the one big thing when it comes to this whole discussion and this whole what would you say, this conflict, I should say, is you have to carry yourself in a certain manner to come off credible. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say this: let's say we don't. Let's take all the nuance aside. Just the way Fresh and Fit did their video on that, like how they reacted compared to Abba and Preach, is just telling. Like, it's just telling. It's like the way they're going about and doing this rebuttal, the Fresh and Fit, they win, bro. Because what do we always say, man? You gotta stay within that masculine frame. You gotta be a man. A man doesn't get super hyper emotional. Like, you don't win arguments that way. And like, to me, it's like one of those dudes that like never been in a fist fight in his life, never been in that like type of life before. So he's just getting loud. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what it reminds? You know what Myron Gaines remind me of? Is he reminded me of DJ Academics? I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, they had him on the show last week, but I will. But the thing is, I have to push back on one thing that you're saying though. I don't know how legit this actually is, but I heard from Donovan Sharp, because Donovan Sharp has been on this show. Donovan Sharp also has Myron Gaines. Notice how he doesn't have weeks on his Masculine Excellence, podcast, because he does a thing with a lot of these Manosphere guys who are like, prominent in these YouTube streets, both black and otherwise. But notice he has Myron Gaines on there, but he never has weeks on there. That shows a lot about how Myron Gaines, again, drives that show. But from what I heard from Donovan Sharp, Myron Gaines is not a pushover, because it's actually pretty funny. Both Myron and Preach have worked as bouncers, so you know that they have some type of training. But I have to say that if I had to choose,
I'm sorry, bro.
I'm probably gonna run with Preach on this one, because
I get what you're saying, bro.
He's
but
built like the Fantastic Four's,
the thing.
The Thing. I'm gonna take him.
No, I get that, and I'll just say this before you play it, is that, but I've known bouncers that are also pussy, though. I'm just being honest. Like, I've known some bouncers that, like, oh, yeah, I used to do this for the club, and they'd last a little bit. I'm not saying that was him. I'm just saying the energy he gave off to me is somebody that, to me, just seems like he's never been in that type of situation, but I could be wrong.
All right. I mean, I'll accept that as, you know what I'm saying? Okay. I have to, because I don't want to speak out of turn. I want to make sure that I formulate my thoughts first before running my fucking mouth.
No,
you know what I mean? I think that's probably the way to do that.
Joking.
But as far as the validity of the claims that ABBA made, if ABBA is a very thoughtful person. Okay. That's one of the things that I respect most about him. In fact, I think that kind of takes away from his ability to be, a comedian that people will take the proper kind of serious, because he's too thoughtful. Okay. So if you're a thoughtful guy like ABBA, you have to think that if you cover a part of a podcast that you were on months ago, and what you have to say is not going to be flattering several months out, then you have to recognize the optics of that situation. How do I look putting out a video, calling somebody out on cap 4 months after he lied? Right? So how would I have done it differently? Because I don't just want to be critical of ABBA without bringing a solution. How would I have done that differently? If you're telling us that he got something, an inbox from, be it an email or Narcigram or something like that from a viewer, then I would blur out the contact details, and I would actually show. Do you remember the Hodge twins from back in the day? Right? Yeah. They'd be like, the title of this email, right? They're making it very clear that the reason why we're covering this is because somebody asked us to cover this, right? So, in understanding that, if you know that you're about to roast somebody who welcomed you, well, not welcome, for what I understand, it was kind of thirsty trying to get ABBA and Preach on there, because, no matter, they want to talk about who's getting the most views, but they're the ones that were begging ABBA and Preach, who have a much larger platform, but that's neither here nor there, right? You got to know that if you're going to criticize somebody 4 or 5 months after the conversation that you had, that it's going to look a certain way. So in that way, I do understand where Myron was coming from. Like, this shit came out of left field. But I think that what ABBA said was reasonable. Hey, somebody said, hey, I stumbled onto this. I noticed that the words didn't kind of match the actions. Can you speak about this? So what would I do in that situation? I would post a screenshot of the person asking for this to say, hey, somebody just hit me with this, and I'm going to speak on this, and so blah, blah, blah. Because if you look at the way that they did that video, and remember, they put the cap on Weeks, not on Myron. They should have put the cap on both of them. Because you know them niggas love putting their caps on when they think they hear somebody lying, right? I think that is a way that you could say, hey, I know that optically this doesn't look great. But here, let me address this by letting you guys know, no, this is I got the Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews does this too. Oh, somebody hit me up. O'Shea Duke Jackson. Shout out to my nigga. O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again. I got this from this group on Facebook. Oh, somebody hit me up at planetO'Shea@gmail.com. Oh, somebody hit up my social media. Oh.
Right. No,
right?
There was definitely a way where he kind of portrayed it in a better light to kind of explain why he was covering it instead of saying that after the fact. So yeah,
but I think that he should have led off with that, like pretty
exactly.
much all the guys on that level.
I don't disagree. I think that's something if he could have gone back in time, that's what he should have done. I think doing the video several months after the fact is a little bit petty, but it doesn't excuse about the behavior. But let's.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, I because the thing is, like, I question the timing. I absolutely question the timing. So, but when you look at it, it's like, if you would have included that piece of information in just like a lot of the guys in your sector, we're talking about respected guys over 100,000 subscribers, okay, over 150,000 subscribers. People say, "Oh, I got this information from so and so," right? So that's all I'm saying. If you would have let off with it, I think that even Fresh and Fit's reaction to it may have been different. But I think that it is necessary that it happened just the way that it did because it exposed who F and F really are. It exposes exactly really how they do business.
It's not that deep. Okay, this whole idea that there's some giant conspiracy is not that deep. But anyways, if you guys want to know, that was why.
We're trending, man.
Yeah.
We're popping right now.
But then I did, as always, men lie, women lie, numbers don't, right? And then I thought to myself, why would they bring this up now? Chris, can you show Exhibit A real fast? So let's see here. Let's see. These guys have almost 1 million more subs than us, guys. All right.
So we're the blue line.
We're the blue line. They're the red. They have 1.38, which is 1,380,000 subscribers. Guys, we only have 430,000 subscribers.
They said, we're the blue line and they're the red. Do you see this drop off right here? Do you see that? Right? Yeah, you're popping, but people are starting to lose interest because you're super repetitive and you say the same thing every podcast, the same thing, right? See, these guys have reached a place of, okay, we've established ourselves as legitimate. We're going to cover the stuff that we want to cover, right? We're going to do what we want to do on our terms. And we don't really care who fucking watches. But you know what? People respect us enough to subscribe to us and then catch us every now and again to hear our perspectives. And sometimes, and I'll let you know, there are times I don't watch Aberrant Preach videos either because A, I can tell from the description or the title that they're about to say some stuff that I think is just beyond the pale stupid. Okay? But I respect their right to say what they want to say. But sometimes they cover subjects that I just find it cringy. When they do those Skippy videos.
Oh, yeah, I can't watch it.
I can't watch those videos.
Yeah, it's just cringe.
I can't.
Subscribers. Okay, we have literally like less than 1/3 of their joint, right? And we got 20 million views and they got 14.9 million views. Ouch. Very interesting for you guys to go ahead and make a video insulting us months after the fact. I wonder why. Oh, it's because we're hot.
He says insulting us. I want to make it clear, folks. They were insulting their position on the subject for not following up with actions what they put out there in words.
hotter than you guys right now.
All this talk about we make so much money, we're getting all these views, these guys are clout chasing. Bruv, when I came on your podcast was far smaller. I didn't care that you guys were a smaller podcast. I was like, cool. You guys seem to do some interesting content. I'll just jump on. I'm not the type of nigga who looks at people and judges their value or their perception of me based off of how many followers they have or how many views they get. We cover.
Hey, Abba, if you would like, you are welcome to come on to the Talkin' Shit podcast and have some discussions on some of your viewpoints. I mean, you don't judge, people based on sub counts, right? Never mind the fact that we have 116 subscribers.
I know, like, just think about that, sir. You could get 5 whole subs.
I think that he could probably do that if he went to Subway and come out with the same. If he went to Subway and get 5 of their subs, he might actually get more value.
Exactly.
Coming on our show.
People who are far larger than us and who have way bigger platforms, and we cover people with 100 subscribers. We don't come at people based off of the size of the following they have. We talk about ideas. If you think back about the video, when we said all that stuff about boxing this, it was on the topics. We didn't talk about Fresh's past. We didn't talk about him faking press releases. We didn't talk about you paying for box. We didn't talk about none of that shit. You guys are getting so hyper emotional about this thing. It's funny to me. For so-called alpha males, you guys don't seem to have any control over your temper.
Yep.
Woo! Continue.
Our channel's better than yours. Facts. We get more views than you. We've been on less than you. We work harder than y'all niggas. We cut our hair more than you niggas. Like, yo, if y'all...
Wait. Okay, so...
I'm sorry. Myron. Look into the camera, Myron. Okay? And you tell me, Myron, what hair are you cutting, sir? Myron. I'm 7 years older than you. Okay? Look at them waves spinning, son. Look at them waves spinning. I'm 7 years older than you, sir. Okay? And notice all the hair right here. Right here. Notice that. Right? There is no way that you are cutting your hair, because if you did, you'd be bald by now.
We get more girls than y'all niggas.
Doesn't this remind you of, like...
We get more girls.
This reminds you of high school, bro. This reminds me back in the day in high school. Like, it's just some kind of immature frat boy.
Look how excited. Shit. Look how excited Mr. Weeks is. Yo, Corey. I know, yo, Corey. I had one barber try to push my hairline back. I was this close to elbowing him in the orbital socket, and he wanted to put that fucking spray on me. Like, nigga, please. Traditionalist. Actually, I think that you are correct. If we go back here, okay. Let it run. Okay. You see how it's much darker here? And I've been watching YouTube videos. Of plastic surgeons. Because if you click on one video, they'll just keep feeding you all these fucking videos. But there's this one guy that does hair replacement surgery who's got some weird hair replacement issue, right? Blind Bat, talk to the congregation, Blind Bat. If you look right here, you see how dark it is right here? And you see how they filled in the hairline? And then you see how light it is right up in here? Right? There's a common tactic that is used in these surgeries. Because what they want to do is they're taking like a bunch of hairs from the back of the head that are less susceptible to the effects of DHT, right? And then they insert them into the pores in this area so that you know, because the thing is, he likely was losing his hair like here and then all the way around here up into here. This is probably where his hairline was going, right? So they wanted to put some hair here. Yo, Blind Bat, with all the capping they do, all the capping they do on the show, you can tell that they put this in here just to protect his hairline. So, no, sir, you are not cutting your hair more because you don't have any hair to cut, sir.
Listen,
So-
man, like it's someone's receding ass hairline as well. There's nothing wrong with it, man. Just accept it. Start wearing hats. Start wearing sunblock.
Are you about to tell him to come on home?
Yeah, bro. Like, just accept it, man. I am too. That's why I wear hats. It's starting to go. Like, I got hair still, but you know what, dude?
You want to show off your luscious leprechaun mane? Is that what you want to do?
Dude, listen, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm self-conscious. You know what I mean? Like, I can't show my head. Yeah, I'm serious. Like, yo, like, it is what it is, bro. Like, it's genetic. It is what it is. Like, I thought about doing it, but I was like, getting the hair transplant. There's nothing wrong with it, but you can't. Like, I can't
Bosley.
go diss. I can't diss another man being like, yo, you bald as shit, and then just whip off my hair with my receded ass fucking hairline. Like, yo, that doesn't work. You know, but we could go back and forth roasting each other. Like, me and LeBron get in the same room, like, yo, you nice spray. And it'd be like, I can see your fucking head, Baldy. I'm like, you know what I mean? Back and forth. It'd be a great roast session. It'd be bald on bald violence. But you can't be acting like you cut your hair every day when you're going bald. That makes no sense, bro. Last time I got a haircut, that's why my hair is really thick back here. Was
no
like
wonder he caps
couple
so
months.
much. He needs a cap to cover that shit.
Bro, it's just ridiculous. I'm so throwing this shit. I'm pissed off now.
I mean, if you look at his seeking arrangements account, you would think that he compares himself to LeBron James, right?
No, to be fair, like
six-pack abs, right? Over 300,000 per year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And over 6'2".
True, and balding.
I mean,
had that.
Just breaking news: Myron Gaines is on the level of LeBron James.
Let's go.
Panel's better than yours. We get more views than you. We've been on less than you. We work harder than y'all niggas. We cut our hair more than you niggas. Like, yo, if y'all want to
we get more girls than y'all
we get
niggas.
more girls than y'all
For
niggas.
free.
Like, if y'all really
For free. Yo, like the amount of bullshit through this whole thing is amazing because they're both super insecure. Like, they got called out on their bullshit, right? And now they don't know what to do. They don't, because they're just so like, oh my god, people are realizing like we're full of fucking shit. I pay for pussy. I fucking my hair is balding, and like, you know, what's the name of CEO of a fucking white minivan? Like, it's just like this dude. Like, I'm sorry, bro. It's just full cap. Like, they got nothing going on. I'm sorry. Like, it's just pathetic. It's just absolutely
really want to
pathetic.
free. This nigga Preach is married prior to a fucking beluga whale. So
Yo, keep playing. No. Keep playing that.
Wait. So, in one, no, wait. There's a reason why I paused right there. In one sentence, you say, we get more girls than you. And then in your very next sentence, you talk about a man being married. And then, because remember, you're the facts over feelings guy, right? See, I know the difference in what Myron Gaines said that even Preach didn't understand. You see, Myron Gaines used a very important word, probably, right? So when he puts the word probably in there, there is a difference between saying Preach is married to a beluga whale, and there's a difference between that and Preach is probably married to a beluga whale. So what he's doing is, when he says the word probably, he is implying he actually does not know who Preach's wife is. But what he's saying is that Preach doesn't have enough sexual marketplace value to get with a woman who is sexually attractive. right? See, I understood that difference when I heard it. And a lot of people, and I'm just going to say this as far as Preach is concerned, when he puts that qualifier in there, probably he's not roasting your wife. He's roasting you and you alone, saying that you probably, not that she is a whale, but probably,
he just doesn't
because he is attacking you and your ability to attract a mate of high sexual marketplace value.
There is one thing I'm going to say here, and before you keep the clip going, because I have more to say, as you know, is one thing you never do, and like he's the guy that's, you know, deal with facts, not emotions. For you to bring someone's wife into it, man, that's just something you don't do. Man to man, bro, like you got beef with me, fine, bro, but don't be bringing my family into it, because then that brings it to a whole different level. Like, and that's what, and this is what these type of dudes, and this is what I'm gonna say. Like, I'll stand by that. Like, dudes that are actually about that life understand there's a certain line you don't cross unless you want it to get to physical violence. You understand that, right? Like, I'm not gonna be, you know, talking shit about someone's dead family, talk somebody's about their mother, their father, you know what I'm saying? Their sister. I'm gonna keep it to a certain degree, because if not, they're realizing, yo, I'll pull up, pistol whip the fuck out of you, and put the 9 in the back of your head. Like, I'm sorry, like that's how some dudes play. I'm sorry, like listen, man, I knew
wars have been started over pussy,
bro. Facts.
And if you're talking about married pussy, you're looking at possible evisceration. Now, remember, Preach did not want to leave Canada for the show that they were on. I'll be in Miami next week for you niggas. You talk about my wife, right? As an aside, Zomo242, welcome to the show. Zomo says, so I watched TSP episode 27 where I talk about how to get an 800 plus credit rating. It does not apply to me at all right now. My student debt is my debt is all student loans based around a defunct fraudulent corporate college. Sir, you just admitted to not watching, listening, and understanding. So I need you to DM me either on Twitter or on Twitch, and then we will have a private conversation so that you can understand why it actually did apply to you, because I put a lot of information out there. It wasn't the most organized fashion, but it's still a lot of useful information. There were things that I said in there that pertain to your situation directly. So hit me up on the DM and we will talk about that. See, that's what we do here, right? We're not that different from what Fresh and Fit tries to do. I'm trying to put out information. Anything that I benefit from in life, I'm trying to give to all of y'all's. Okay? I'm trying to give you all of the information I possibly can to help you to win in life. Because even if you're not dealing with a delusional woman, she's still going to want you to provide and provision. She's still going to want you to do that. Even if she's not some Miami bimbo who is requiring a guy make $5 million a year when all she has to offer is some other nigga's kids. Right? Most women are not like that, but they don't want a fucking bum with no confidence. Okay? So we're going to give you as much as we can give you that we have been able to benefit from personally. The shit that we talk in this podcast is the shit that has worked for us personally. Okay? We're going to bring on people who have benefited from their way of thinking even more so than we have. We're going to get them on the show. Okay? But, you know, in that way, we're not so different in our goal. Our goal is to make men happier by helping them make themselves better versions of themselves that will open up opportunities all across the board. Because we're not just talking about opportunities with women. We're talking about opportunities in experiences in the professional realm, in the environment that you lay your head down in at night. All of these things, you put it together, it makes for a happier life. And it doesn't matter whether you're the type of guy who is men going their own way. There's a way to be the happiest going MGTOW. There is, or MGTOW. there's a way that you can be happier in the red pill, in the purple, and frankly, where most men reside, in the blue pill arena. There's value. We're going to bring value to help you become better, more confident versions of yourself in an environment where you know that regardless of your standing in society, regardless of whether you have 0 subs and no money, or you've got 100,000 subs and more money, that we're going to look at you eye to eye as a man and then level with you. Because it's not about proving so much that we're better than you. We're not better than you. But you need to understand that there are guys out there that actually give a shit. And then as our platform grows with your help and more women come on here, then you're going to see that there are more women out there in the world that love and respect men more than what you're seeing out there in modern media, in mainstream media, or on social media. So we want to attract the guys that want to be better, and also the women that love and respect the men that have built the world around them. Thunder Cunt Smith says, I just wanted to tell Captain Paul that I love him in Dave.
Wait, what? Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna go kill myself.
Somewhere. And y'all niggas talking shit. And
How old these niggas are? 40 years old? Yo, old ass niggas too, bro. Like,
yo,
bruh.
I wasn't gonna do this.
Wait, the hand symbol?
Yo, I was not gonna fucking do this.
The international?
But y'all got me hyped now. Yo, I know you guys are not talking, bro. My man Abba looks like he got off a camel, hasn't cut his hair in years.
No, sorry.
No,
I gotta run that back. I need you guys to hear this one time. One more time.
I know you guys are not talking, bro. My man Abba looks like he got off a camel.
Yo, so can you actually play the whole thing though? Because it's absolutely ridiculous. Because there's another snippet in there or something where he says,
I gotta. This is an Arab American talking about somebody else with the exact same skin tone as him, talking about camels. Does anybody understand a problem with this? Thunder Cunt Smith says, Dr. Evil sexist over here claiming that men are the ones who built the world. Well, I hate to burst your bubble. I don't know if you're being facetious, but look at every house, every building, every house, every building, the power grid, the sewage treatment. If you look at all of the infrastructure that has been built in society, please name the structures that are mostly built by women. And I'm talking about architects. I'm talking about the people that you see, when you see like building construction, housing construction, the people that are walking the beams up there, the people putting in the foundations. Name just one major project in the world that was mostly built by women. And we'll wait for your response, but we're gonna run the video.
Hasn't cut his hair in years. Dusty as fuck.
Yo, bruh.
And this is Sudani roasting on you right now, bro. You Somalian? Yo.
I was like, yo, what anime you came from, bro? Now,
Yo.
nigga looking bummy as hell, bro. Am I you, right?
Now, I definitely wanted to address this, talking about bummy as hell. You see, if they did their fucking homework, they would know that ABBA dresses bummy on purpose. Thunder Cunt Smith, you are factually incorrect. Thunder Cunt Smith says, women have, especially in the modern world, been major contributors to all of the things you mentioned, buildings, infrastructures, etc. To claim otherwise is incredibly ignorant. I need proof. Because every single time you look at a construction zone, is 99% men. And the 1% that are women are holding stop signs. You don't see women at the top of structures that are being built. You do not see them. There is a reason why men have an incredibly higher mortality rate in the workplace than women do. Because men do tougher jobs than women do. We do riskier work than women do. The laborers, the engineers, the planners, yes, 99% men. So I would like for you to provide examples of any major project, even a moderate project, a moderate building, a moderate project where most of the workers building the building were women. I need you to name just one. I'm talking about the planning. I'm talking about the whole shebang. Yes, there are women architects. They are in the extreme minority throughout history. That is a fact. This is not saying that women are less valuable than men. But if you want to look at the world around you, that is blood, sweat, and tears coming from men. These are risks taken by men. Every bridge that you see, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, we're talking about hundreds of deaths occurred in the building of these bridges, in the building of the Empire State Building. If you look at all of the fatalities, they're all men.
Like the canals they built through, like, you know, the Cape Cod Canal, the Panama Canal, like the different canals, you know, sections they built throughout various different regions. I know with my industry.
No, I'm not getting mad at all. It's just that you're factually incorrect. And this is the way I talk. No, I can't stop yelling. That's the way I talk. You ever seen me in one of my movies, Juice? That was a good one. Deep Blue Sea, they ate me. A fucking shark ate me.
Listen, like, this isn't to say, and because I kind of want to get back on topic, but this isn't to say that women don't have value, right? Yeah, you hit.
Yeah, but the thing is, I just stated a fact. Men built the world.
I know, but dude, it's like my industry. It's majority men because men are built differently for certain industries.
Well, let's talk about your industry. Let's talk about your industry. What is it that you do? Because I think Thunder Cunt Smith is new to our platform. So introduce yourself, Captain.
Hello, I am Captain Paul. I have a captain.
Wow, that kind of sounded a little beta right there. That sounded this is hello.
But no, like, I'm Captain Paul, right? So I work in the maritime industry. Currently, as of right now, I used to do tugboats down through the Cape Cod Canal, escort different barges, ships like that, make sure they don't go aground. Right now, I move get oil, gas barges, and stuff like that. And with tugboating, especially,
Thundercut is roasting you.
Yeah. But with my industry is I move a lot of oil and gas. But I move a lot of oil and gas and stuff like that you utilize to power your homes and stuff like that. And it's a lot of heavy maintenance, like the wires and stuff like that. You have to hook up the lines, heavy lines. Like, an average woman couldn't throw the lines I throw to like 10 feet because it's not like tiny little, like,
we're talking
maybe
about
an inch. Like, I'm talking huge lines.
You're talking about porn star cock thickness fucking.
No, but they're very, like, they're 3-inch circumference, stuff like that. It's very big, heavy line to make sure that you don't have an issue. And like a lot of the safety equipment, man, like, it's required. You have to be able to lift at least 100 pounds to work in my industry. And that's the minimum. Like, some of the shackles I pick up, they weigh 100 pounds. Now, mind you, sometimes you'll get somebody to help you. So, because it's like you're rolling and safety effect, but like certain industries, this isn't to be negative to women in any manner.
Yeah, I just stated just a regular.
But they're just
fact.
not built for that. They're not built for that, and that's just a genetic difference. Like, obviously there's outliers. I know some women that have worked in the industry but they're a different type of woman, right? They're the 1%. Whereas my industry, I've never had a female on my crew. 99% of like the people that actually work on the water are men because it's very dangerous jobs and a lot of women don't want to take it. Like, my industry has one of the highest fatality rates out of any job industry, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. You can trip a wire. Your vessel can sink if it's not kept up with, poor conditions on the water as well. A lot of shit can go wrong. Even if you prepare and you properly maintain everything, there's been incidents where equipment has just failed. And I actually have known a few guys that have died. So in those situations, what are you going to want? Are you going to want somebody that can actually throw that fucking life raft over the side by themselves? Or are you going to want somebody that can't? Are you going to want somebody that can hold on a full life-breathing apparatus and fight a fire, actually wear the suit and know how to do it quickly and how to be able to haul like a 200-pound man across the deck? That's another thing, is that we get trained, especially with us, because we're the firefighters, is like we have to drag our own out. So is a 120, 130-pound female going to be able to drag a 300-pound male?
I only know one, and that's Steffi Cohen. Look her up.
Yeah.
She's a fucking boss.
But I'm saying,
okay?
like,
But she is the extreme outlier.
that's what I'm saying. She'd be the 1%. And
so, I mean, it's funny that he would call me Dr. Evil Ignorance, right? But he still didn't actually refute what I said with facts, because I know this for a fact. If you take every male contribution to the building of our infrastructure, right? If you erased it, what would you have left? What would you have left?
shopping malls.
No, you would have even those buildings would not exist.
I'm joking.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, give me an example of a female-led, female-staffed crew.
I'm gonna get dragged for that comment.
In any building project. Just name one. Name one building project led from beginning to end by women. Just name one.
You can't.
Because the only thing I have to do is look up in this room I'm in, and I already know who built that. I look out the window. Oh, I know that men built that structure.
Well, it's okay.
Like,
She just put, we're not tripping, thinking about physical labor here. Listen, I'm telling you, because I know people in offices and I have people I know
That's
in
what I'm
very high
saying.
places. There's executives in certain industries that are just mostly male. And why is that? Because when you work your way from the bottom, and that's how most people work, mind you, there's those spoon-fed fucking people, right? But in an industry, right, you start from the bottom. Am I tripping thinking that, Evil? Am I tripping thinking that you start from the bottom, like if a...
But now we're here.
Start from the bottom now here. You start from the bottom, you work your way up, you start your way as an OS, go to a deckhand, then become a mate, then become a captain, then you become a port captain.
Hold on a second. Can anybody verify that Trump Tower was built by women?
I mean, that's kind of like just an optic way. That's a weird one to put.
Yeah,
out.
I'm just gonna put it into Google. Built by. Okay. Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna share this because I think that it is really important because it's I accept, okay? Okay. Hold on. I want to make sure I get this right because I'm not. We don't shy away from the smoke. Female engineer behind Trump Tower reveals what it's like working with the President of the United States. During a visit to Manchester, Barbara Ress, the first woman to oversee a major New York City construction site, spoke of her memories of Donald Trump, which is probably pretty bad because he's a misogynist in like the worst sense. What year was this? Was the Trump Tower built in 53 BC? Was it built in 200 AD? No, it was built in 1980. Extreme outlier. And when we're talking about appointed to oversee, right? Was she up there when they were building the buildings, walking on, fucking, beams at the top, suspended 500 feet in the air? No, she managed the project. And like I said, there are women who are excellent designers. There are women who are better at things than men that are normally considered to be
Male dominated
manly.
spaces.
One of the ones that is one of my favorites is that women tend to be more accurate shooters than men.
Yeah, that is actually interesting.
Because the thing is, women have less physical strength to maintain a weapon through recoil, but they're still more, especially when you're talking about snipers. Women tend to be more accurate snipers than men are. But when you're looking at the entire world, when I say men built the world, okay? Oh, wait, Waterloo Bridge. I definitely want to see this, because if you're going to educate me, let me go back. Because I don't mind being wrong, but you actually have to you have to come with it.
Waterloo.
Ooh, what do we get? Peter Linden Company. Peter does not sound like a woman's name. Not just going to say that. And this is in London. When was it built? It was built in 1938. So that actually does kind of make sense because I'll get there, Thundercunt Smith. I'll get there. This year is an important year. Why? Because World War II, as far as what was going on in Europe, was well underway. Okay? So when you when you look at what is more, what would Thundercunt, you tell me? Because I don't want to because this show obviously is not about this, but I don't want to shy away from the discussion with you, because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But what do you think would be the more risky situation? Attempting to build a bridge or storming Normandy?
Oh yeah, that's right. Because as World War II and took over yep.
Right? Because I could just look at the year and tell you why. Because women did a lot of the factory jobs during World War I and World War II. But what was going on through World War I? Well, we had the first COVID. We had the first Rona. By the way, they call it the Spanish flu, but it originated here on a military base in the United States. So it's really the American flu pandemic of 1918. But I digress.
There's actually a Smithsonian article, magazine. Like, they have an article here that I'm looking into right now, and it's saying, as World War II overtook Europe, the men went off to battle. The women in England, as much as in America, entered or were conscripted into the wartime workforce. Right, so they didn't really have a choice; they had to go and do that. Before long, women made up 1/3 of the total workforce.
1/3?
Yeah, 1/3.
Now, again,
total workforce.
2/3 is still men, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Does that bridge get done without women? Absolutely not. Or you can make the case that you can make the case
because I'll be honest with you, I'd rather be building
that it would have gotten done slower. But we cannot ignore that women actually stepped up and did some of the sweating and took on some of the,
My rebuttal to this is that think about it. Women didn't necessarily go into that industry wanting to be into it.
Right. I do want to ask Traditionalist this question. And Traditionalist, make this clear for me. Is there a difference between conscription and entering the war? Because conscription would be the draft, forcing people to go. But, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't their involvement in that European war, because at that time, it was mainly a European war. They were involved in the war before they started forcing young men into the war, and then as the war got worse, even worse. The Via Benedetti, built in 1663. Did the architect build it or design it? Did Platia Brici, did she do like all the building, or did she just design it? Because again, I know women designers and architects. Like I know they exist because I know some. But if you take away all of what men have done to build the world and you just leave what the women built, what would be there?
Not as much.
There would be almost nothing. And that's just the facts. If you look around you, everything that you're using, mostly provided by men, 99%. And the thing is, it doesn't make women less than. Like, I don't understand the argument like, oh, no, you're ignorant, you're this. No, it doesn't make women less than. Women have arguably more valuable contributions than just building shelter. There's more to offer than that. It's the men are the ones that are mostly taking on the risk to make it where we have places to live and all this other shit. Now, if you want to go into other stuff about violence and other male traits, we can have that discussion another time. This is not the podcast for that. But again, the thing is that the only thing you have to do, ma'am, the only thing you have to do is look around you. The world as you know it, built by men. If you take away Trump Tower, which was probably almost 100%, with the exception of the project manager, men, but let's say you take that away, the world by and large still looks the same. But if you take away men, there is no world. You don't have running water. You don't have a place to where your shit and your piss go away from you. You don't have any of that. And that's all I'm saying. Oh, he says I'm not a woman. But then, dude, you gotta do better. It said thunder cunt. So, sir. The only thing you gotta do is look around you. If you look at any building that you walk past, are you gonna bet that a woman built it? Are you gonna bet your house? Are you gonna bet a week's paycheck that the next building you walk past was built by a woman? You're not gonna do that. Because that's not a good bet. But it's not to say, it says I'm not a woman and I'm not a man.
Wait, what?
All right, so let's get back on track. But I appreciate your having that discussion with you. Thanks for mostly being respectful about it. But we're gonna get back to this. All right. Let's
No audio. No evil.
I gotta call out a fallacy, a logical fallacy on the part of Myron Gaines here, and this is not necessarily a criticism of him, but our economy at large.
Yo, evil.
Okay.
Evil. We didn't. The audio didn't play on that one.
Oh yeah, that's my fault. That's my fault. I got a little exasperated there, and I lost a little focus. Hold on. Go right. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna let it. Fuck. I'm fucking up over here.
Seems like we got some Fresh&Fit.
Okay.
Bruh.
So let's
better
go.
fucking channel than y'all niggas. We get more views than y'all niggas. The only thing you guys got on us is you guys been on longer. But I guarantee you, next year, this time, we're gonna lap you motherfuckers. Because you know what? Right. Nobody works harder than us.
Logical fallacy. This is not a direct criticism of Myron Gaines, because in principle he has a point. If we work really hard, we're going to see the fruits of our labor. However, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Because if hard work was the measure by which people would be successful, we'd have 250 million American millionaires. But we don't. So there is no guarantee that if you work hard, that you are just going to zoom past people and getting receiving all of these accolades and success, okay? But I will tell you something, Mr. Myron Gaines, and this is why you've hit a speed bump on your way to lapping them niggas, whatever, however you want to put that. The reason why you're having the issues that you have is because of your arrogance, and your arrogance has not been completely earned. Hard work is not enough. You need, and this is something that Kevin Samuels has also said. It's not enough for you to make $10,000 a month. That does not make you a high value man. You need to be recognized by others as also being high value. You need to have been dependably high value for an extended amount of time. You have to have a network and then also be useful to that network. But dear sir, right now, the inner network and the expanded network, you're not very valuable right now. There is a reason why Weinstein was fired from his own production company that he owned. There's a reason. Because you may have had value before, but when you start DMing people stuff like, well, you owe me your body. You owe me your body because you gave your body to somebody else. What? What? Oh, I'm not going to collab with you unless you have sex with me. What? How valuable are you to the Manosphere, regardless of anything true that you have to say? Regardless. How valuable are you if everybody's perception of your character is now the lowest of the low? How valuable? Yes, you might make 300,000 something a year. But how valuable are you to men if literally by being associated with you, we are now misogynists by proxy? How valuable are you to your own true message? And this is what gets me upset. Thundercunt Smith, now you've got an angry Dr. Evil. An angry Dr. Evil Ignorance. Now I'm angry. Because when one person takes the truth and then mixes it with an EPAR spirit, you're going to tell me, well, I want your soul. But then, no, you got to lay on your back and starfish for me in order to get on my show. Do you think she's captivated by you? No, nigga. And now I'm embarrassed to have ever been in a position where I had respect for you on any meaningful level. Because if somebody says, oh, that podcast is in the same vein as that one, oh, and those guys there They try to Weinstein girls. That's what those guys do. So if you're affiliated with them, because misogyny, the definition of misogyny isn't necessarily that you hate women. It's the contempt for women. You don't even need to hate them to be a misogynist, sir. It's your contempt. And to tell a woman that, and we showed the fucking screenshot. That's what pisses me off. Because now, the girl power brigade is going to take what you did to invalidate all the true shit you said, and it puts us all behind. You're fucking up all of our lives. Now I'm angry. This is why this stream was so difficult for me. Because you basically took a platform that for all its faults were absolutely necessary. And you shit all over it. And now you've made all of our lives harder. Because remember, with the Girl Power Brigade, they are above reproach. You cannot criticize them for anything. But as men, our burden is heavier. We have to be damn near perfect in order to get our message out there and get the validity it deserves. But when motherfuckers got screenshots of you acting like Weinstein,
Yeah.
you can potentially fuck it up for men everywhere. You have just undone all the good that you've done. So no, sir, you are not going to lap ABBA and Preach next year. Because you, sir, are a liability. And if we want to be honest, if we really want to be honest, sir, and we know that you won't do this because, you know, you care about money and clout and all this stuff, you would shut your podcast down and go do something else. Because every day that your podcast stays up and you talk the shit that you do after what we have found out about you, you're going to get us all labeled misogynists. You have undone all the good that you've done and then some. You have set the modern male backwards. You may have moved things up a step or two, but you threw men down the stairs with what you did. If you gave a fuck about men at all, you would do a sign-off show, collect the last little bit of super chats, and you would shut the podcast down so that you don't become a liability to other people. You see, and this is something that O'Shea Duke Jackson has talked about. I got to say this. This is something that O'Shea Duke Jackson has talked about. Being very careful about the people that you do collaborations with, because your reputation's on the line. How do you think Kevin Samuels is looking at this stuff? Oh, I'm not going to collaborate with you unless you give up the box. Oh, and you should just give it to me because I know other people that you gave it to. That is not Kevin Samuels' message. Why would Kevin Samuels want to have his brand intertwined with yours after what we just found out? So you could talk all that mess about being over 6'3". You could talk all that mess. You could talk all that mess about how you make over $300,000 a year, about your six-pack abs. You can do that. You can do that. But sir, your usefulness to the modern male is all but destroyed. Because no matter what you say going forward, red pill men, pink pill women, blue pill men especially, we're all going to take your words and then run them through the lens of somebody who has a contempt for women. I'm not even going to say that you hate women. But I know the words that you typed in that woman's inbox, though. There is no sane person that is going to look at that and say, yo, there was nothing contemptuous about what he wrote there. Take it away, Captain.
I just think, personally, is that as a whole... Actually, you know what? Keep playing this clip, because I have something important I want to say here. Keep playing this clip.
Nope. Period.
We make more money.
And that's the worst part is that I love to see a black man get paid. Get your money. Get your money. If your views are stupid, your views are stupid. But if you're...
Can I point out that Preach, it was so riled up, he didn't even take his backpack off his back to do this video.
You're getting paid, get your money.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm here for.
There's not a single person that could ever say that we've ever feigned jealousy or gotten mad about other people succeeding. We move at our own pace. Yeah, we've been on the platform longer than you. Congratulations. To me, it's not even that deep. You guys are doing well for yourselves. Good for you.
Great.
I ain't never been mad at a nigga making money. This is about the ideas. So all this talk about clout and all this, you guys have lived in Miami so long and you've been faking your lifestyles for so long that you think everybody is chasing clout, that everybody wants to be with an Instagram baddie. Your whole platform is based around clout chasers. So that's why your mind is warped. Miami's fucked up. That's why the girls you bring on, everyone's like, yo, who are these dumb broads that you bring on? Right? Because they're all clout chasers. So you guys' mindset is all warped and shit.
I got to say this because ABBA reminded me of why I made a concerted effort to change the foundation of this platform. I did not get on an airplane for the first time until 2018. That would put me at 34 years old because I had a fear of flying. But then when I said, you know what, I'm going to tackle this fear of flying, I said, if I'm going to get on a death-defying metal toothpaste tube in the air, that's in the air, that doesn't make any sense. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that in South Beach. So me and my ladies, we went our first airplane vacation together. We went to South Beach. We stayed in Brickell, the same area where Fresh and Fit run their podcast from, incidentally. Our accommodations were in Brickell. Rented, I think I rented a Mercedes-Benz and ended up in a Lincoln. I'll complain about that later. But, you know, we were on South Beach. We were in Miami, walking around, doing whatever the fuck we wanted to do. And I noticed something very, very different that changed my worldview about women. See, back then I thought that a lot of these women were just waiting to level a false accusation at somebody. Just, you know, I can't wait to get my I as well moment. But when I touched down in Miami and walked through the airport and then walked through the streets at night, and I saw how the women acted toward the men and how the men acted toward the women, it completely changed my worldview. You see, I was used to being in the Bowery area, Chelsea, Union Square, where you have all of these girl power brigade, you know, who've been lied to by, you know, girl power movement. And so they walk around with abject fear anytime a male walks by. And it's not that they want to tell, you know, false stories about men. It's just that they live in abject fear 24 hours a day because of a lie that has been told to them perpetually. But when you go down to Miami and you see women in bikinis walking down the street by themselves at 1:30 in the morning without a fucking care in the world, and they're walking past guys, I'm talking about attractive women, and they're walking past men by themselves, right? I saw one catcaller, and the way that the woman handled that, the way it was like 3 guys and it was 2 girls, and the way that the guys were catcalling them, they were walking away from the women, and the women weren't rude. The men got the message that the women weren't really interested. So when they were kind of catcalling them, they were walking away from them. And the women were not rude, but, you know, they were kind of cheeky, and they kept walking away from the men, and that was it. That was the only time I saw catcalling. The rest of the time, there was no men harassing women. There was no, oh, give me this, give me that. Yo, let me get your number. Yo, ma. I never saw any of that stuff. And women were walking around scantily clad without a fucking care in the world. And then it fucking hit me. The environment that you're in dictates your worldview. So if you don't go and experience other people in other environments, and even if you do go there, if you are not observant about the interactions between different races, different sexes, different economic levels, you know, and different caste levels, you know, the things that separate us as human beings. If you're not paying attention to these things, a lot of the world's information is going to be lost to you, because there's a lot of information out there that you don't need to go on Google for. The only thing you need to do is open your eyes and your ears and close your fucking mouth. That's all you need to do. And I realized that I was not living around a bunch of people running in the victim Olympics just trying to look for an opportunity to levy a false accusation. I was wrong. And I understood that, no, I'm looking at somebody who, a lot of these women have been fed the same lies, and now they have a real fear. The chances that a man is going to do something to a woman on the street, very low. But they've been fed a message that says the chances are very, 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 very high. And watch and watch and watch and watch and watch and be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. And then they live in a world of fear, and their fear is actually real because it's theirs. And so what that did was helped me to get rid of my anger towards how I was being treated, simply walking down the street. I can't tell you guys how many times I would walk down the street on 5th Avenue and like 20th Street. And I would just walk down the street, minding my business. And, you know, women are trying to look in the other direction, and, you know, they're holding their purse super tight, and, you know, they're looking around super. And it's like, I used to be like, yo, I didn't do shit to you. I'm just walking down the street. But then I understood it's not personal. They've been told to live in perpetual fear. And so now they fear, and their fear is real to them. Therefore it's real. Now, am I going to do anything to them? Absolutely not. But from all of the stories that they've heard, can they really take that chance? And it doesn't even matter what the statistics say. They saw a news report of a woman that was sexually assaulted, a woman that was violated on the street 3 years ago. And that stuck with her and is burned into her brain. And it doesn't matter if nothing ever happened to her. She's going to live with that fear, and therefore she's going to treat you from a place of fear. So now I don't have that kind of angst. I don't have that kind of disdain, because I actually got outside of my environment and experienced other people to understand that there is a difference. Because not all women everywhere are living in this kind of fear. It depends on your circumstances. It depends on where you live and what the socio-political landscape is in that area. So with Fresh and Fit here, oh, these women only want men that make this amount of money. They only want men that are this height. They only want men, blah, blah, blah. There is some sort of truth to it, you know, kind of, sort of, you know. But it depends on where you are and the people that you choose to deal with. If you're a man that is dealing with women of substance, then those girls on the show don't really apply to you. And I can tell you that there are good women out there. I have too.
I think, honestly, though, because there's something very important I do want to talk about. So could you just, if you could keep playing that clip, I don't think you.
Oh
said
yeah,
it
yeah,
yet.
yeah. We're going there, but I just had to point that out
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, you're gonna get false accusationed, and it's like the threat is real, but just like a woman thinks that I'm gonna do something to her at 3:00 in the afternoon on a Tuesday on Fifth Avenue in public with 30,000 people around, and she still has that fear, and it's not really rooted in any real likely reality. Men also have that fear of the false accusation. It's not really likely to happen, but we keep seeing evidence, of it throughout, social media. So now we think that there's this rampant thing of, oh my God, all of these women with the false accusations. It's really not like that. Not really. Not really. But you need to get out of your echo chambers and go and experience other people in other areas who have a different mindset.
It's not like that everywhere around the world. Not everyone is about clout. If we were about clout, do you think we'd be covering things like this pandemic and all these other issues that fucking derank our YouTube channel? It's not about clout. At the end of the day, it's always about integrity. That's it. For us, it's about integrity. Whether we win or we lose money.
Y'all dumbass niggas with the same tired background, same fucking million plaque. We got $200,000 plaques now. And we're going to get a million plaque. And we're going to get the other channel another million as well. And Fresh's channel going to hit 100,000.
Facts.
We are better than you niggas.
Wait. Remember he was talking in the millions, right?
100,000.
And then when he talked about Mr. Weeks, we're going to get him to 100. Translation. He's not really interesting. And no one cares about him. I know that you want to big your boy up, but nobody really cares about Mr. Weeks. The show is really about you, Mr. Gaines.
Niggas.
Oh, and that's also why you should shut the show down. Because there's no evidence that Mr. Weeks tries to grape women, but now we got evidence that you do. And since that whole show is carried by you, and you killed the show, you need to bury it.
Period. Fuck out of here, man.
And we don't pay for box.
These are the kind of like, you know what it's like? You know what it's like? I love it that these guys call themselves alpha and all this other stuff. It makes me laugh because they got such bitch energy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like when you're talking to a girl about a topic. You're talking, you guys see this before. You're talking to your girl about a topic and you guys having a discussion and she's losing the argument. All of a sudden she starts bringing up, your dick is small. What does that have to do with economics? It's like, they do the same thing. I find it so funny that these guys think they're alpha and 1% men and all this other stuff, right? They lack integrity. They get upset at the most random stuff. When I was on the podcast and they kicked out that girl, one of the girls beside me was like, yo, you're being emotional. He's like, no, I'm not being emotional. I was like, bro, why are you screaming like this? No wonder these girls come on your podcast and don't respect you. You don't command respect. You just yell and get them kicked out. You think that's alpha behavior? The idea that you can't even get respect from these ladies is an indication of the fact that you don't know what you're doing. It's hyper emotional. You're just screaming and getting mad. I'm laughing at this.
Please, I got to get your opinion on that because he just spit a whole bar right there.
Let me see.
He just spit a whole bar right there. Should I play it again?
With the, I'm sorry. I thought you said the comment.
No. What Abba just said right here. He just spit a whole bar.
Play it again.
Yeah.
And don't respect you. You don't command respect. You just yell and get them kicked out. You think that's alpha behavior? The idea that you can't even get respect from these ladies is an indication of the fact that you don't know what you're doing.
Yep. But see that's what I'm saying though. Like
They come onto your platform and don't treat you with any kind of deference on your platform.
That'd be like someone going on to Joe Rogan's podcast and not showing him any respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that just never really happens. Now it's just.
Do you think those chicks? Because I'm going to use an example that Myron Gaines likes to use a lot. Drake. I don't really know who Drake is. I just know that he's light skinned and he likes Toronto Raptors. That's all I know. And he doesn't want to fuck Lizzo. That's all I know. Okay. But apparently, he's a super wealthy guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that those girls that disrespect him on his show, do you think that they would disrespect Drake the same way?
No, because and like I said, you can tell sometimes, especially looking back and using retrospect, but I even thought initially, it's like he's trying to portray this alpha character that he's not. Like you can be, I'll say this, you can be even like successful in your own right and have certain success, but doesn't mean you're an alpha. Like there's a certain way you carry yourself. That
I know men that make way more money than me, and they simp as shit.
Exactly. It's the way you carry yourself and the way you carry yourself as a man throughout life that defines you as an alpha. And a lot of people, that's such a negative connotation. Like, but a true alpha is somebody that leads and knows how to dictate how things should be going. You know what I mean? Like, especially in a relationship with a woman, the man should make a lot of the decisions, and that's not being sexist. It's just like if you're an alpha, that's you are the decision.
In fact,
maker.
a woman is going to judge you if you don't make those definitive decisions. Another thing, gentlemen, if you've heard nothing else today, hear this. If you have to tell me you're an alpha, you're not an alpha.
It's hyper emotional. You're just screaming and getting mad. I'm laughing at this because it's pathetic. I don't know what's wrong, but every episode I see you just screaming, getting mad, screaming at ladies, railroading like women who aren't prepared with all these stats and numbers. That these ladies are like, "Yo, you want to come on a podcast?" I'm like, sure. Turns out that 8% of all men. Well, how does that have a way to have a discussion?
Well, this is where I kind of sort of disagree with Abba here, because Myron Gaines has a very specific thing that he is trying to show men. You see, the podcast there is not for the women. The podcast is to show the men who they're likely to be dealing with according to the type of men, according to the type of women these men tend to go for. So it doesn't really matter how much time these women had to prepare, because that's the point. He's trying to show that these women are not prepared. These women walk through life thinking that women built the world. And then they got to find out, well, everything you looked at was manufactured by men. When these women, all these guys are players, no, more than 80% of men have zero sexual access at all. The fact that only 40% of men in world history have procreated, but 99% of women have, tells you that women get easy sexual access while, men have to climb over other men to get access. That's just a fact. It's a rude fact. It is rude reality that we can't get past. But a lot of these women are delusional, and so he's trying to point out the delusion. So he wants to meet the women where they are, where they are. Much love to us traditionalists. He wants to meet these women where they are, and then show these men this is what these women actually think. Right, and that's part of the value of that podcast.
It is part of the value, but I'll say this: I agree to you to an extent, but I also agree with Alba. It's not like they're bringing on the most intellectual women that can actually have a real debate. But yeah,
but that's what these guys want. They don't want intellectual women.
I know.
The girls that you want have this kind of mentality, and that's the point.
Yeah. No, I get what I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I can understand where Abba's coming from in that standpoint. If he hasn't really followed Fresh and Fit like that, right? Because I'm assuming probably hasn't. Is that it does look optically kind of weird. You're always bringing in these dumb bimbos, but you're not bringing anyone that's necessarily have any type of intelligence on there. I don't know.
Not on the After Hours show.
Yeah. After Hours show. That's what
on the After Hours show, because they bring on almost exclusively people that have value to add on their daytime show. So they get props for that. I mean, perhaps they could stick to doing, I don't know, finance or fitness stuff, but when it comes to dealing with women, please stop talking about women.
Just chill, nigga. It's not that deep.
I'm like, yo, real ass niggas don't pay for box.
Yo, here's the other thing too.
These guys say real ass niggas don't pay the box. One's on seeking arrangements. The other one,
He's lying about having 3 girls at one time. Shut the fuck.
The other one,
Shut the fuck up.
You know what kills me about Fresh? Like if you
Preach
listen
is
to
a
him,
real
you know he
man,
has
son.
no. It's painfully obvious.
how many
that
times have
this
we had
man,
that
like,
face
even
when
when
we
you go
hear
watch
somebody capping?
the vlogs that he does, he's like he has this whole thing. Don't lead with money, and like in a bunch of his videos, he's like, "Hey girl, I'm gonna shower you with gifts. Come on, we're gonna go shop for Lambos and Ferraris." I'm like, bruv, if it wasn't for your clout, you wouldn't be out here getting anything. Let's be real. So I find it so funny as they talk about paying for box. You want to know why this nigga doesn't want to pay for box? This is his experience. He went to Colombia with his niggas, okay? They went to a brothel. He saw a bad woman, and he's like, oh, wow. She's like, come upstairs with me. He didn't know it was a whorehouse, because this nigga is so lacking in self-awareness, you know? He thinks everyone respects him. This fucking goober, okay? He gets in, and she's like, $20. He's like, you want me to pay?
Yo, see, that's a great thing about
Bad woman. And he's like, oh, wow. She's like, come upstairs with me. He didn't know it was a whorehouse because this nigga is so lacking in self-awareness. You know, he thinks everyone respects him. This fucking goober.
Yo, I love it.
I gotta let y'all guys know. I have a soundboard. Where is it? Because I haven't been able to get my channel manager to do the job that I pay him to do. Okay. Because on this podcast, only one person gets paid, and it's neither of the people that you see on the screen who are spending all the money to do the show. But I digress. Okay? I got the big one. All right? Go to the store, get me some rubbers, and get the big ones. Granny, don't. That right there is going on my soundboard. Yo.
He thinks everyone respects him. This fucking goober. Okay? He gets in and she's like, $20. He's like, you want me to pay? Nigga, you don't know a whorehouse when you walk into one? Where were you raised? I don't know how you could be a pickup artist and lack this much self-awareness. So he said, I paid the $20. I banged her and I felt disgusting afterwards. And that's why I'll never pay for box. Bruv.
But
If
you
the first
did
time
pay
you
for
eat
the
out
box,
is McDonald's
asshole.
burger, and you say you hate all restaurants after, that's not a problem with restaurants, or that's a problem with you.
It's a problem with your choices.
Here's the thing, the truth about this whole escorting
Want
and
to
paying
talk
for
about
box.
accountability, right?
CEOs, NBA players, princes, all of them, they all pay for box. They pay for high-end escorts. Why? Discretion. Expertise. Okay? I don't care how much your girl loves you and all that other stuff. If she hasn't studied sex, if she hasn't done all that shit, if she hasn't taken the time to really learn, she's not as good as other people. This whole idea of like, if she have enthusiasm, nigga, you ever been with a girl that's really into you and she's using her teeth on your blowjobs? She got all the enthusiasm in the world. It's never gonna be a substitute for technique. The only niggas who are this dumb are men who not had a lot of sex or men who never paid for good box. Even Kevin Samuels will come in and say, I paid for box. I paid for women to come with me. Because he's a real nigga. Patrice O'Neal pays for box. The highest niggas in the game, they pay for box. Not all the time, but sometimes it's convenient. So you want me to tell you that you working at your middle class job, you know more about what's being alpha and all this than the CEOs, the most famous and rich people in the world? Okay, so yeah, their niggas is beta because they pay for box. But you, right, working at the company as a minimum wage worker for their company, you think you know more about what it means to be alpha. Get him out of here. Just don't pay for box. Say it's not for you. It's not for everyone. It's okay. But paying $100 for a hooker and then saying it's not as good as a random girl I met on the street, probably not. You paid for shit. Sometimes you get shit service. You pay well, you get better service. It's not complicated. These guys talk like they're knowledgeable about this stuff, and the very people they admire pay for box. Go have this conversation with Kevin then.
Go
have this conversation with real niggas.
Go ahead.
With the NBA players.
The same NBA player that made you bang 3 girls in one night. Fuck up.
You know that was so stupid about that story?
That's
This guy,
crazy.
man, wants me to believe he's at
so
a pool
mad.
party. Okay? He was
Random pool party.
He's at a pool party. This NBA player comes up to him. He's like, oh my God. Man, do you know where the coolest parties are? He's like, yeah, here.
It's
He's
that
like, can I have your
Instagram?
Can I have your Instagram? Oh man, we fucked the same girl? Oh my God, we was in the same pussy?
Yo,
bro, I got a
story.
I got a mansion party tomorrow. Why don't you come over and we gonna get it lit?
So the guy, hold on. So the guy that was looking for the hottest party happens to have.
I gotta ask this question. When have you ever bonded with another man over finding out y'all smashed the same chick?
It's weird, bro. I don't know.
Does that sound?
That's weird. That's beta shit.
Does that sound like a guy?
A mansion party next. Get the fuck out of here with your bogus ass.
So he needed your help to find a party in town, but he got a mansion party with 50 girls that are rolling through. And let me ask you,
Bro.
Let me ask you, in this made-up scenario where you're capping the fuck out of possibilities, you want me to believe that this man had 50 girls and none of them were paid? You think that these girls that you banged there, supposedly,
Shout out to
that you
new
had all three, but you didn't want a
DJ
threesome
Red
because
Pill.
you wanted to go one at a time because you were too awkward enough? You want me to believe that these girls had burning desire for you? Of course not. They wanted to fuck the NBA player at best. They didn't want to get around with you. But you think none of these girls are...
Yo! I need you guys.
Wow,
Guys. I know y'all hearing what Abba's saying. Okay, I need you to look how he's looking into the camera. Again, there's so much more information out there. In fact, 85% of human communication is nonverbal, meaning that the words that come out of our mouth is about 1/6 of what we're actually saying to people when we're talking to people. Okay, I need you to look. I need you, because the thing is, again, and this is where Abba, this is where FNF fucked up. Okay, here's where FNF fucked up. It's like, it is at this moment he knew he fucked up. Do you see that look in Abba's eyes? He's a professional comedian. What does that look signify, Captain?
Oh my god. Just gonna destroy him, bro.
So I need just watch.
Play the
Roasting is in session. Because remember, right? Now, Myron and Weeks, they need to go and grab a hat out of a compartment in a table to let you know that they're about to cook somebody. Because they're not professionals. Only thing you need to do is look at Abba's face.
You were too awkward enough. You want me to believe that these girls had burning desire for you? Of course not. They wanted to fuck the NBA player at best. They didn't want to get around with you.
Look at his face! Look at his fucking face! Roasting is in session.
But you think none of these girls are paid? They pay for box. All these guys, these high value men, they all pay for box. So, man, listen. You guys trust what you ever want to trust. Follow whoever want to follow. I don't even think I need to play the rest of the video.
Okay, all right. This is what I'll say because we probably should start wrapping up a little bit. But there was something said. It was
I got all day, motherfucker.
I think there was another part. It was another video where it was I think he said something. He was he insulted Preach's wife. And then he's
no. I'm gonna pull that up. I'm gonna pull that up for you. I'm not even gonna burden you with that. Trying to remember all of that shit because
I have something very important that I like.
Oh yeah. I say no more, fam. Say no more.
Because that I just think that is such a different and interesting conversation we can have because I'll wait.
Yeah, let me just pull this up right quick because this was This is, and again, like, this is one of the things where it's like, yo, I probably could have still watched this show after this if not for the E-Par spirit coming out of Myron. Okay, I could have even forgiven this, but this is what really got under Captain's skin. So I'm gonna play this in its entirety, and then you can go on your monologue.
We say the facts. We give our L's and our W's, right? So real talk, man. We put out invite. If y'all want to talk shit, come back in the studio. We'll talk about it, or we could box about it too. Cause I'm in the gym now. You feel me? I'm feeling nice right now. I'm
Fresh
wired right now.
wants to box or preach, bro. Fresh wants to box or preach,
bro. So you know what? Come back to him. I'm wired right now.
Fresh wants to box or preach, bro. Fresh wants to box.
Talk about it, or we could box about it too. Cause I'm in the gym now. You feel me? I'm feeling nice right now. I'm wired right now.
I'm in the gym right now. I'm feeling nice. So I'm going to institute a combat situation. Okay.
Let's keep playing this, man. I got a lot to say about this.
Fresh wants to box or preach, bro. Fresh wants to box or preach,
bro. So you know what? Come back to Miami. Let's box it out. Talk it out too. How about that?
In 3 months,
though. No, but like real talk, man. Like if we're gonna have this discussion, we're hotter than you niggas, straight up, and we work harder than you guys. We put out all different types of content. Yep. We ain't just out here reacting. Like, man, look, fuck out
hold
here,
on,
bro.
Pause for a second.
Stop.
Pause. Yo, pause for a second.
And later on in the video,
What defines working harder, right? Because I'm gonna say this real.
You told me not to stop the video, but that's the exact fucking question.
What defines
that was
working
going
harder?
off in my head.
Because they don't release a podcast that's monotonous and can like every time the same fucking thing, same topic
People watch
every
this shit
fucking
to see who's
day.
gonna get kicked off.
Exactly. So that's working hard. I'm not saying you don't put hours in, but just because you put time doesn't mean you're working hard. Right? I could be working 12-hour days, right? Does that mean I'm working hard? And how do you know
what you're doing in those 12 hours?
And how do you know what they're doing? Because they're comedians, bro. They have other shit outside this YouTube stuff that you probably have no fucking idea about, doing sets and stuff like that. What defines like their hard work? They even said in their video, Abba and Preach, that they make a lot of videos, and then sometimes they'll edit it and stuff, and they don't like it, and they'll just delete it, right? So, what would you rather, bro? Tell me, Eva, what would you rather? Would you rather want quantity or quality? Because for me, it's quality, and the reason why
I want quantity of quality.
Well, but if you had to pick either or, I'm taking the quality, man.
I'm gonna take the quality.
And that's the thing.
But I don't like to choose.
Abba and Preach's content, the reason why it's so, in a sense, like some of the stuff, like the Skippy stuff, I agree. I can't watch it because it physically makes me cringe. And I'm not into that type of content. But a lot of the other stuff, they can make videos made like 2-3 years ago. It's timeless because of the way they execute their video format.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
But you can continue the clip.
Yeah.
video, you're saying that you want to box with me. Sort of happened that I'm going to be in the U.S. next week.
Let's
in
go.
the video, you're saying that you want to box with me.
Look at the way he's looking into the. Look at Abba! Look at Abba! Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! See, the thing is, again, gentlemen, you have all the stats on what women are doing and all this stuff, right?
Mm.
But did you check the stats of these two men before you opened your fucking mouth? Because remember, it wasn't just Mr. Weeks. Mr. Gaines was talking about how he would fuck both of them up. He said it first. Right? Does this guy look scared to you? Does Abba look scared to you?
No.
Look at Preach. Doesn't he remind you of Street Fighter 2 Blanca?
Yeah.
This motherfucker will put a charge in your ass. Look, yo, and that's. I'm just gonna play this shit.
Sort of happened that I'm going to be in the U.S. next week.
It's fucking great.
You want to fucking do this shit? Let's go. Both of you. I'll be in the U.S. next fucking week.
Hold up.
Let's go.
Look at Abba's face. Look at Abba's face. Yo! You see
Yeah.
he only shows like a little bit of the top row of his teeth. He's like, yo, that is a look of a man that's like, I know something you don't know.
We'll put gloves on. Because not only this, that's why I have a problem. Now you talk shit about my wife.
This nigga Preach is married, probably to a fucking beluga whale somewhere, and y'all niggas talking shit.
And you talk shit about my country. Old bitch said that he was about to send me on a boat to my country, to Haiti. Yeah? Cool. Next week, I'll be in the States. I'll drop by your fucking studios. You know where it is?
Oh! Woo! Woo! Yo, look at Evan's face!
Give me the address. I'll be right there. Don't come unprepared. We'll do it. You want to do this? Let's go. We'll put gloves on. It'll be legal. I know Florida laws. I take one bitch, then I take...
You know he's real when he knows the laws, but he doesn't know how to pronounce the name of the place that he knows the law in. He's coming to fuck you up, son.
The other one. Let's go. Let's go.
Yo, nigga.
You want to talk? I'll be there.
Okay, you know what?
Look at his... Wait. Look at his hands. Look at Preach's hands. Does that look like the hands of a man that you're just gonna fuck him up?
No.
Let's go.
Yo, nigga.
You want to talk? I'll be there.
Okay, you know what?
I wasn't there last time.
I'll be there.
I wasn't. But now you want to do this?
You want to set up the box, man?
Let's go.
Okay, we can set it up.
Both of you bitches. Let's go.
Look at
You want to do
face.
this? Let's go. Let's go. I'll be there. Yeah, he's just going to do it from... Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Next week, I'll be there.
But okay, listen. At the end of the day, listen, I'm not here to have people fight and advocate, but Preach, you your own man.
That is not me that said that.
Go, nigga.
I did not say that.
Hey, man.
I had no problem with it.
Hey,
You're going to bring my wife and you're going to be my country in this? No problem, Brendan. Let's do this.
I promise you, Fresh is not about that life.
I don't care.
This nigga is not about that.
You have to understand that when you talk some shit, there's consequences. Let's do it. I might lose this whole shit. Not a problem. I'll be there next week.
I'll DM you guys, or we'll set it up. We don't have to do this back and forth. We can set it all up. We don't have to do.
I hate to say it, Preach. You sound like a real man. Did you catch that little bit? I'm gonna run this back. He says something really, really important here that actually makes me more fearful of him and not less. Let's pick this up again.
Prom. I'll be there next week.
I'll DM you guys, or we'll set it up. We don't have to do this back and forth. We can set it all up. We don't have to do all this talking yapping.
Just let me know what kind of...
Oh, wait.
Let's do this.
I promise you, Fresh is not about that life.
I don't care.
This nigga is not about that life.
You have to understand that when you talk some shit, there's consequences. Let's do it. I might lose this whole shit.
Right there. Did you guys pick up on that? Did you guys pick up on that? I'm going to run that back for you one more time. Pay attention.
Consequences. Let's do it. I might lose this whole shit.
I might lose this whole shit. What does that tell you, folks? This guy has been in a lot of fights. This guy understands combat situations. Sometimes the better fighter does not always win. So, never once did you hear Preach say, I'm going to fuck them up. He said, let's do it. What did you hear Myron say? I'm going to fuck these niggas up by myself. And over here, Mr. Goober Weeks. Yeah, I got a couple sessions in the gym. I'm feeling nice. No, you're going to be feeling unconscious.
No, dude.
Not a problem. I'll be there next week.
I'll DM you guys, or we'll set it up. We don't have to do this back and forth. We can set it all up. We don't have to do all this talking yet.
Carwan! If I had my soundboard, this would be it right here. Abba and Preach have been in the army, and Preach is an MMA fighter. Niggas, did you do your fucking homework on these guys? Did you do your homework first? You talking all that shit from the safety of South Beach, from Brickell. Did you look at the look on Preach's face And then the way ABBA responded, he's like, yo, I'll show up at your studio. Wait, you know where the address at, right? I was like,
oh shit.
Oh no.
It's just
Yo.
it's the absolute.
You really should change the address. You should move that. You should move that studio, son.
You should move. But I'll say this, man. Like the way Preach
He'd be
carried
sitting
himself
in your kitchen, waiting to
the
start.
way he carried himself, man, you could tell that dude's been in some fights, man. You know what I mean? Like win or lose, he's been in some scraps. And I respect that because generally when a person that's been in those confrontations, you have been, I have been, bro, it's like, yo, like shit happens sometimes, man. So like, win or lose, man, I'm gonna show up.
And the thing is,
do my best. But like
the thing is, Carwan says what he wasn't professional, he was just an amateur. But you know what the difference is between a professional and an amateur? The rounds they might have less rounds or less minutes in the round. But the only difference between a professional and an amateur is the amateur's not getting paid. What happens in that cage still happens in that cage. And let me tell you something. I've been in the gym a couple of times. I'm feeling nice. That is going to be no match. Trust me.
No, absolutely not. And this is the one thing that I actually have. And this is when we were talking on the phone on my ride back from the tugboat last night, this was actually something I want to talk about. What Fresh and Fit, what they said on that podcast regarding, first off, saying going back on a boat to your country, right? Like,
it's so disrespectful since he's an immigrant too.
I'm just gonna say it like this, bro. If that motherfucker was my skin tone, bro, like he'd be done. Absolutely. Like absolutely done. Like if he was a white dude saying that shit,
talk about it.
It's already over, man. Like I just think like we give a pass to people on their racism because if they're dark skin. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. Because like to me, that's some racist ass shit to say to another fucking person, bro.
And it's even worse when he looks like the guy he's making fun of his race.
And like
he has the exact same skin color as ABBA.
And like
right? They're both from Africa.
Jokes, and the camel jokes too, bro. Like
nigga, you look like you came off a camel too. Bro. Like what the fuck you talking about?
Well, like I can't say that, you can. But like my
because I look like I came off a camel.
But like my thing is this, bro, is like why are we giving these dudes a pass on that? Like I think that's like another discussion we can have is like, yo, that's a pretty fucked up and racist shit to say. Like if you said that to someone's face, they're gonna fucking take you out fucking back and beat the brakes off you.
Yep.
Like you know what I mean, bro? Like I have worked with some dudes that have been from other countries that if you say a certain shit, okay, funny anecdotal story, right? So when I worked for the shipyard, right, and we were working on a certain barge unit, right? A young kid, like 17, 18, I think. Or no, I think he was 18. He works at the yard, and he said something. I forget exactly, and I can't obviously repeat it on the podcast. He said something pretty fucked up to a guy that was like literally somewhere from, I forget exactly where, but it was somewhere from Africa. He was like an engineer. He's like, oh, okay. You want to talk that type of shit? Bro, like legitimately, he took him behind the Kwanzaa hut and just beat the living fuck out of him. And this 18-year-old, it wasn't like some small dude. This older guy he fucking was talking shit to wasn't in the best of the shape, bro. But he had that old man strength where he was just beating the fucking brakes off him. Like it was, I was watching that shit, bro. I'm like, yo, like where can I put this money down, bro? I was not expecting this big of an upset. And I was like, I reconsider this. He's like, because he was 18, he was in decent shape. Think, oh, I'm tough. It's funny because like these dudes that lift, they think they're about that life, but then when it's different when you get punched in the fucking mouth, right? Mm-hmm. That's a completely different fucking circumstance. And you just the way he beat the brakes off him and said, yo, you want to talk that shit again? We can fucking do this every fucking day. Now, mind you, he got escorted off the workplace, but that was one thing that I think that kid learned, and that hopefully it'd be kind of cool to preach if that ever did happen, but it won't. Is that like you got to learn, man? There's consequences sometimes for your actions, and sometimes that's a punch in the fucking mouth. And I was like, yo, I told that dude, I was like, listen, man, I don't blame you. I would have I would beat the shit out of that little fucking asshole myself because there's a certain level. And I was like, because I remember that conversation me and him had afterwards. I had to walk him to the gate, and I'm like, bro, like, I'm like, man, like you kind of probably didn't handle that. And he's like, man, like sometimes sometimes it doesn't matter about a job. It matters about self-respect.
Yep.
And I was like, yo, I respect that.
He didn't say anything about being an alpha male once in that conversation, did he?
No. And that's the thing is like, that's why I kind of laugh at that energy. Cause
he just talked about his duty as a man and kept it pushing. Did he not?
Yep. And
Did
like,
you have to keep talking about how alpha he is and how
and
beta
the funny
everybody else is?
and the funny is like the skinny-ish type white dude that thought he was a strong dude. Like, I'm a big bad. I'm a bad. Like, he wasn't saying alpha at the time because I don't think that was as hot at the time. He's like, oh, big bad motherfucker. I'll fuck you up. And then, bro, like, just legitimately, the way he just took him and just started beating the shit out of him, bro. It was crazy, bro. Like, yo, when he hit him, bro, and like his eyes lit up. The kid's eyes lit the fuck up. And he was on his back. And like, bro, he just got like the fucking old dude just gets him, grabs his head, just starts beating the shit, and like he's open hand, disrespectful, slapping him across the face, bro.
No,
and
if you're in a fight, it feels worse to get slapped than punched.
Yo, bro, it was so just because he got punched, bro, and like the kid's like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like his eyes are watering.
Yeah, you don't have to try. Don't worry about it.
He was
Everybody
like,
knows.
he was like eyes were watering and shit. It just gets so just. I was so hyped, and I was like, yo, this is insane. And then like, unfortunately, a supervisor kind of saw it, but bro, it was just ridiculous, man. Like, to me, it taught me one thing in life, right? And I kind of learned this from a young age from my father, is that, yo, if you're gonna talk that shit and you're gonna do,
you better back that shit up.
There's consequences.
And you know what? If you're gonna talk that shit, immediately stop talking, because you're gonna need all that energy when you need to put them fucking hands up.
Right? Like, listen, like it's just, and I think dudes like that gainer no respect from me, because it's like when you make those type of attacks on a person based on how they look, based on where they're from, you're a piece of shit. And like,
especially
I don't care
where you're from is bordering where they're from.
Exactly. Like, yo, like,
and
I don't
Preach is more closer from where he's from to America than you.
And that's the one thing I don't think that needs to be kind of undermined in this whole circumstance, is that we can't let these dudes slide with those type of fucking comments.
And why are you trying to roast comedians? Again, did you do your fucking homework? Like, you lost everywhere.
I know.
How fucking alpha can you be? You tried roasting comedians. You're not comedians. Yo, the look on Abba's face killed you more than his words. You didn't do your homework on their combat backgrounds.
No.
You talk all this shit about how you know all this shit, but then now you wrote a check that your ass can't cash, and now we're here.
This topic. The boys over at Fresh and Fit decided to stop screaming.
Period.
And posted something on their community page that was an apology. Fresh and Fit. We apologize to our supporters.
Now, I want you guys to know something. When Captain Paul sent me that text message while I was taking a shit, I already had my iPhone in hand. And I was reading this community post when he sent me the text message, because I was fucking clueless. Okay? I just had a really, really difficult time in the gym and with the deadlift. You know, I've got biceps tendonitis in both of my shoulders now. It's worse on the right side than the left, but, you know, whatever. Right? I was fucking hurting. And so I'm looking at this post and I'm thinking, what the fuck are they referring to? So I scroll down the comments. And then, of course, you know, I can't just scroll down the comments without getting a text message and a link from Captain Paul sending me a link to a video that I was going to watch anyway because I'm already subscribed.
From this point forward, we are not going to engage in any beef. We are here to help you guys navigate women, fitness, and finances, not drama. We're going to keep giving you guys the content you subscribe for. We apologize for deviating, but we are back on track. Men already get attacked enough in the space, and we are not going to contribute to it. Best of luck to Abba and Preach in their future endeavors. See you guys tonight for a Fresh and Fit After Hours.
So, like, yo,
you already contributed to it.
Bro,
you told the woman that
dude,
unless she had sex with you, she can't get on your show.
Dude, the craziest thing to me, and this is the biggest bitch energy ever, right? So when you challenge this man to a boxing match, right? Like, yo, I'm feeling good in the gym. I lifted like 5 pounds, and like yo, like when you're like, I feel good this week. You challenge this dude to fight. He accepts, and then you're like, shit! Like I didn't think he was gonna accept that. Oh fuck, I'm not about this life. You instead of making a video, right? Like the same energy you insult somebody is the same energy you should apologize to somebody in.
Right there, sir. Right
Because
there.
why are you not making a video like, yo, like, because they made a brief, I don't want to ruin the video, but like they made a brief reference to it. But bro, you loud, hollering, bumping your chest, clapping your hands like a fucking female when you're mad. Like, bro, you should make the same type of energy. Like, I'm sorry, preach. I didn't want to get my ass beat. Like, yo, like, it's just like, bro, like, yo, like, I'm sorry, man. Like, that's the type of energy, bro. I'll be like, I am a fucking pussy. Like, that's what you should be saying. Because I it's just like, for me, as I don't know how these guys come back from this shit, man. Like, how do you come back with any type of credibility in a fucking space where you're supposed to be helping, building up men's, like in your fucking mini post, when you're just a big old fucking pussy that when controversy or any fucking type of actual real life difficulty comes your way, you run like a little bitch. And that's the funny thing is they call everyone a beta. Oh, beta, beta, beta. When like, yo, I'm preach. This is you. And this is him just fucking you. It's just absolute ridiculous, bro. I don't want to hear these type of dudes talk tough anymore, bro. I don't want to hear no fucking side out the mouth shit. Be like, yo, like, I'll take you outside. Like, if they ever saw this, I beat you. Bro, listen, you can come on up because obviously you ain't about this life, pussy. Like, come on, son. If you're going to talk tough and be like that, suck my dick, bro. You just a bitch-made beta male fucking pussy. I don't want to hear anything from these dudes, bro. Yo, when you bring on those females, bro, why don't you just fucking put on a skirt as well? Because you just a bunch of fucking bitches, bro. I'm sorry, man. Like, that's how I feel. I have no respect for that. Especially as dudes like, oh, yo, we men. We not trying to be drama. We not trying. Nah, bro, you just afraid to catch those hands, bro. Because Preach would have knocked the living fuck out of you. And that's just the truth, you. Just the look on Preach's face, bro. The way he's been carrying himself. Yo, he would have beat the living shit out of you, man. Oh, man, I would have paid for that shit, yo.
Look at the look on his dude. Look at the look on his face.
Yo, he's
seriously, guy. Like,
he's disappointed. He's
look.
disappointed.
No. Watch the evolution. Because you could see the wheels are turning, right? The wheels are turning, right?
Oh,
now, Alba's face right here. This is where my head is at right now.
He apologized to their supporters. He didn't apologize to me or my wife.
Yeah.
For my country.
Later that same evening.
Real quick, guys, okay? Because I know this is probably on everyone's minds. We already got 6,000 plus live viewers. So thank you so much for coming.
Now, I got to ask you guys this question. How many of those 6,000 live viewers were there to roast the fuck out of these guys? How many of those 6,000 people do you think they got super chats from?
Oh, man. Bro.
Probably more than we're going to get.
Coming in.
Only been 4 minutes.
Yeah, seriously, within 4 minutes. So, guys, we'll go talk about this real fast.
They never get 6,000 viewers within 4 minutes. Motherfuckers was waiting on that ass.
Yeah, dude.
Fast. On this podcast, we talk about accountability. Okay.
Yeah.
And we are not above taking accountability. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, we made a mistake. Okay.
I love the
It is not cool to insult a man's country and or wife live on air. We should have kept the.
Does that sound like a written statement and or wife? Who the fuck do you think you are?
Disagreement on the topic and not the people.
Yep.
Okay. Smart people discuss ideas. Stupid people discuss people. And we made a mistake. All right. So with that said, we apologize, okay, for talking about his wife, his country, and making ad hominem attacks on them. They're fellow YouTubers. If we have disagreements, we're going to have disagreements, but the way we went about it was not right. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got to hold ourselves accountable as well. And from this point forward, we're burying the hatchet. We wish the best to Abba and Preach.
Yeah, the best, man.
We're going to keep making content, giving you guys what you want, and we're going to stay away from the
Look
drama.
how
That being
soft
said,
they are.
boxing, You got our number. Hit us up on the side. You know where we're at. We're in Miami, so let's do it.
Yeah.
So now this is an issue I have with Mr. Weeks.
You can't do that.
Okay, I Mr. Weeks. This is the first time I felt a measure of sympathy for you. It's not a lot of sympathy, but I do have some. You see, I don't envy the position you put yourself in, sir. And yes, you put yourself in the position. You ran your motherfucking mouth.
Mm.
I think we all know that Myron is a better fighter than you. So when Myron runs his mouth, at least he's got something to back it up. So I've heard. But you wrote a check your ass could not cash.
No.
And now you saw all over your community tab and all over Narstagram and everywhere else that we can find you on the internet. Niggas is roasting your ass. Roasting your shit. And you have no choice but to look into that camera and triple down on the invite. You're like you're a man on death row.
Yeah.
And they're walking you into the exit. The thing is, what are you gonna do? Nah. About the box, and you're all. You know you couldn't do that because you publicly said let's throw hands. Mm-hmm. There's going to be no way that you can avoid what's coming to you. I actually feel a little bit of sympathy because I'm an empath, okay? I'm an empathic person, okay? And I'm putting myself in his position where I know that every time I leave the studio, I got to look left and look right before I walk to my Lambo.
then don't open your fucking goofy goober
But at
ass
this
mouth,
fucking
bro.
point, he's trapped by his own mouth.
Bro,
he's trapped.
Listen, this is the thing he could have said, right? Listen, preach. Listen. Like I'm a pussy. I don't want
Look
you
at
to
with
beat
the eye of the tiger overlay.
Bro, I'm a pussy and I can't fight. That's what you say there, fuckface, Mr. CEO of a cardboard
He's like,
box.
yo, let's try this 5 years from now after I get, coaching from Floyd Mayweather and his uncle.
Bro, like, this is the thing, man. You know what this reminded me of is that, like, Fresh and Fit is Conor McGregor and fucking Preach. It's just Poirier just beating the shit out of him. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, if you're going to talk that much shit and then, like, oh, we're going to box, and then, like, you rescind it, like, oh, there ain't going to be no drama, no fight. Everyone's roasting you. And then, like, oh, wait, like, we're still down to box.
Yo, they would lose 300,000 subscribers like that. In order to keep the subscribers they still have, the dude knows going into the fight that he is going to be destroyed. That is and that's why I feel a measure of sympathy for him, because I'm looking at it. Look at him. Look at it. Look how he's looking down at the table. Like, damn, I'm about to get fucked up. I mean, seriously, look at Mr. Weeks' face right here.
It's hard to, because
it was at this moment. He knew he fucked up.
You didn't even do that. You proposed a fight, talked shit, then when the
Wait, I gotta see this. Y'all are bums. My stories don't make sense to you because you don't live a life like me and never will. I pray that's the truth. Lord, please let him be telling the truth. Let's set up an event for the people to watch live, but Abba's scared to talk numbers. No, you scared to talk about how you about to get your face bashed in.
So you know how I know that he's not about that life, bro? Is that he's overly concerned about the money. You know what I mean? Like when it gets to that level and you're just holding, the only reason you're holding out is because of the money and stuff like that. And you ain't a professional fighter by any means. Looks like the only thing he fucking, I don't know what he's a professional at. It's
Look at
just
this. Not
ridiculous.
boxing for free and 20K is peanuts. The reason why they said 20K is because Abba wanted to keep the fight private because he knows that this is a lamb being led to slaughter. So Abba was going to give him $20,000 to get fucked up because that's all that's going to happen. Not boxing for free. Nigga, you opened your mouth. You. Am I living in a fucking Twilight Zone right now?
No.
You said we could talk about it or we can box about it. You gave the invitation. Now, I'm not going to box for free. No, it's not going to be free. Because there are going to be medical bills behind this, sir. The fuck you talking
The person
about?
accepted. You're like, I'll bring $500,000. I offered you $20,000 to just show up. Win or lose, you were going to get paid. Hand you the check beforehand. And you still cowered out talking about, we need to get promoters and all. These guys think everything.
Preach did not leave Canada for that show several months ago. This motherfucker is willing to deal with all the bullshit of getting on a commercial flight and leaving a lockdown Canada to go into the heart of the COVID belly to come see you in Brickell. And now you want to get promoters and you want to wait. No, I'm going to be there next week. I don't need a press conference. I don't need to sell this on Triller. I'm coming to fuck you up in the nearest gym. I'm not trying to hear any of that. Let's try to make some money out of this. No, we'll do this privately. And then you could take 3 weeks off your podcast because you're not going to want to show up to your podcast with your face mangled.
I mean, that's what I make a part of the agreement. You got to do a podcast right afterwards.
This ain't about money.
And I'm going to say this to you guys. I don't play with violence. It's why you've never heard me and Preach come on here and say we would fight some people. You've never heard me and Preach go here. We would start some stuff because where we come from, we understand
They have
that's
a video.
real thing.
They have a video talking about how seriously they take violence, especially when people want to act like, they're going to be Superman in a certain situation to save somebody. And they're like, no. These situations are much different than you imagine them. Like real life is very different than the movies. Like these guys understand reality. So when you're talking about two guys that are rooted in reality and Preach is looking at you like this, and then Abba very soft-spokenly is saying, we take violence very seriously because when Preach shows up, he's going to injure you severely. And, the reason why this is so important is because all of your ICU beds in Florida are filled up because a bunch of people don't want to get vaccinated or wear masks. So when he fucks you up and you need surgery to repair your orbital socket, there's not going to be any place. So you're going to have to sit there bleeding into with your broken skull, bleeding out behind your eye because we can't get you into the OR because all of these guys who are deep-throating ventilators are taking up all the space. So we understand that there is a real cost to violence, which is why we don't play. But since you opened your fucking mouth, we are going to happily help you to calculate this cost.
You don't play with violence. You don't threaten violence. You don't encourage it. It's not something you take willy-nilly. Because do it with the wrong people and you'll get called for it. Y'all were the ones talking crazy about, I'll box any of these guys. I'll do it. And I'll beat both y'all niggas up too.
No, he didn't say, I box both of you. I will beat both y'all niggas up. Myron, I'm sorry. I know that you've got hands, but from what I understand, at the end of that, you will be a walking Pez dispenser.
I really want to talk about that. You guys want to fucking box? I'll box both you motherfuckers too. Fuck out of here, man.
You guys were the one talking crazy.
This nigga's name is Walter. I should be making fun of his name. But how do you get Fresh Prince CEO from Walter Weeks? I don't know. I see a different kind of week, but,
Definitely
Whatever.
a perfect last name for him.
Y'all niggas thirsty for views. We gonna set up promoters. How do you say that in the same sentence? How do you do that?
Because he's a fucking idiot.
We said no promoters, no tickets, but y'all, Mr. Weeks, could you make some goddamn sense? Everything you say is contradicted by everything else you say. Have you said a true word in your life? Have you said a single true thing that does not contradict itself in your life? You couldn't even get through 2 commas of a run-on sentence before contradicting yourself. Y'all niggas thirsty for views. We gonna set up promoters. Why would you need to promote something if you're not thirsty for views? A date for tickets and the whole venue. What date can you come? Can you both come for this? Preach fighting us both makes no sense. Both of y'all talk smack in the video. The reason why it makes sense is because it's only going to take one of them to put you in the ground. It's only going to take one. You're not going to be in any position to fight the next guy because you're going to be licking your wounds from the first guy. Whoa! Again, Mr. Weeks, you are weak as fuck. Because let's go right back here to what Myron said, right? Let's go right back to what Myron said.
Guys, I'll do it.
And I'll beat both y'all niggas up too. If we really want to talk about that.
I'll beat both of y'all niggas up too. Your man said that. Preach fighting us both makes no sense. Both of you all talk smack in the video. Am I wrong? Am I losing my mind?
No. Absolutely not.
I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Mr. Weeks, I'm pretty sure Preach would even agree to fight Myron first because he's the tougher target. A softened up Preach still puts you in the hospital. I hate to be the one to tell you, but that's reality. Since you want to talk about reality to women, you want to talk about reality to men, right? Here's the reality. He's going to hurt you badly. You better hope a sanctioned referee is in there with you because that's all that's going to save you.
Craziness, trying to act out. Oh, hold me back. Nobody's holding you back. Preach said he would take both of you guys because he feels some type of way. And you still got nothing to say.
Hey, and Preach, I guarantee your wife is probably ugly. I said it.
Yo,
you gave her a ring pop and you licked her at your fucking wedding.
We should fly her up, bro.
Weirdo.
Hey, wait. Look at the looks on all these women's faces because this goes back to what we said about them not getting any respect even on their show. These bitches don't give a fuck about them. They're there to get more Narstagram followers and more OnlyFans subscribers. They don't give a fuck about these guys. Look at the look of the one sitting next to Myron. She's not making eye contact with either of these guys.
No.
The chick in the pink sitting next to her, looking down. The short-haired black woman. Right? The woman in the red. Look, the look on her face says, "Stop the cap." Right? Only the chick with the fake titties and the white shirt even reacted to that. The chick next to her is bored. The black chick over there is kind of like, whoa, they just insulted me. And, the chick sitting next to Mr. Weeks looks like she has not woken up for the day yet, and it's already nighttime. So understand something. Read the room, guys.
Yo, we should fly her up.
Guaranteed. Flew out.
Now this This right here, I don't. The thing is, I hate. Myron is an asshole. I said it, Myron. You're a misogynistic asshole from one red pill man to another. You're a misogynistic asshole. However, this shit that Mr. Weeks just said is probably going to end you with a concussion.
Flew out. You may guess the bride. This dumbass nigga. I love you.
You're going to fly another man's wife out? He's going to drum on your fucking skull.
Help guys make money. We help guys get in shape. We help men improve. What the fuck are you dumbass niggas doing behind your shitty ass road shotgun mic?
Yo, chat. Put a one in the chat if you agree with us.
Yo, real talk, man. Y'all niggas, I could tell you niggas stink from the fucking video I'm watching right now. Y'all be sweating in the fucking studio. And y'all standing mad awkwardly close to each other, talking that shitty ass mic. Hey, what you take on this preach? I don't know. The fuck, man?
You got one.
Nigga sound like Clifford, bro.
You got one in the chat.
Oh, God.
Y'all don't want it with us. We will roast you guys.
Yo, shout out to the Fresh&Fit fan, by the way.
You guys are not as charismatic as us.
Yeah.
You guys repeated it multiple times when you thought you were on top, right? Because y'all got more views, right? So you better and all that stuff. And you got the more power, the perceived perception of that.
No, look at Abba's face. Look at Abba's face. Look at Abba's face.
Fuck, man?
You got one.
Nigga sound like Clifford, bro.
You got one in the chat.
Oh, God.
Look at the look on
when you
Abba's
thought
face.
you were on top, right?
Look,
you got more views, right? So you better and all that stuff. When you got the more power, the perceived perception of that. You want to talk all crazy, and now all of a sudden, when you realize that power's not there, now you want to act a little bit humbled.
It's too late now.
You want to see someone's character, give them power, and then watch how they treat the less fortunate, and you go understand how they move. Y'all never see me talk to somebody with low subscribers like they're trash or they're riffraff. Never. I've never done that. I do IG lives every day. Every day people show up, and I have long conversations. I don't care, because it's not about that. But these guys, you see what they're about. And now they want to charge $2,000 for courses, meet and greets, all this other nonsense while they're lying and faking their whole lifestyle. Nah. I got people in my DMs, other creators that maybe we handle this behind. Why would I handle it behind the scenes? You think I want to have a one-on-one conversation with somebody who doesn't believe in the things that they're saying?
You were loud about it. Why do I have to be private? You were loud about this, all of this. You were loud about me. You were loud about my wife. You were loud about my country. You were loud about boxing. I didn't bring this. You did. You were loud about it.
You handle it in public?
Why would I do it in private?
There you
why?
go. There you go.
Brought that.
There you go.
You brought, when you open your mouth.
Bro, just the calm.
Did I not send you that in a text message?
You did.
I gotta run this back. Because this shit fucked me up. Because then I was just like, I feel like I'm about to get my ass whooped.
You were loud about it.
You handle it in public?
Why would I do it in private?
There you
why?
go. There you go.
Brought that.
There you go.
You brought, when you open your mouth. When you open your mouth, there's consequence to open your mouth like that. That's what real men do. What did you say? You said I was 40? Exactly. Back in my day, you could open with that. You could open your mouth like that and say stuff like that to people because it might happen. You can't do that. In prison, you can't talk shit like that. If you talk shit about the guard, they're going to ask you to do something about it. Now you were extra loud. Extra, extra loud. You want to talk loud and be extra, extra? Be real about it. There's always going to be a motherfucker that's going to be realer than you. Always. Know that. You want to do this?
That's true,
I was
bro.
right here. I'm still here.
You know what they say?
Oh, I'm going to be
fire
here.
emojis
You know
in
what
the chat, please.
They said, why would we do a 2 versus 1? That doesn't make sense.
No, I'm going to take one bitch and the other bitch. You guys are 2 bitches. Twin sisters. That's your new name. Not Fresh and Fit. Twin sisters. Let's go.
These guys changed their tune once they saw subscribers going down. That's how you know they lack principle. They're so caught up in numbers. They changed what they said. They deleted their videos. They deleted everything, right? Just because they lost subscribers. You want to stand behind a man
You want to call us
who
out? on
only
that?
stands behind numbers?
Yo, how long have we been at 1.38 for? The past 3 fucking months?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Who cares? We haven't grown that much.
It is what it is.
Does it matter?
Not really.
It didn't matter when we were at 300K. It didn't matter when we were at 69K. Y'all notice the outro still says 69K because it's all the same.
That's the worst part.
Outro.
We never changed the outro. Look at the fucking outro. It says 60 whatever now.
You know what kills me? People mad. Well, why would you make the video in the first place? Y'all ain't got nothing to say when we cover Skippy or any other individual and we go at it like that. Then it's these dudes. They invited you in their home. No, they begged us to come on a podcast with them. Don't get it twisted. We're not friends.
I got the
we
receipts.
didn't text.
I got the receipts.
And I hold everyone accountable. If you say something crazy online, I'm not going to call you in private, okay? Unless it's a private matter. They publicly said some stupid shit, so we said, let's dissect that stupid stuff. But now, because it's your hero, ABBA are like two-faced. What's two-faced? I went on that podcast and I went right to Myron's face because he was talking crazy on another podcast. You know what I told him? Why were you saying that stuff? He started stuttering. I don't remember calling you blue pill data. Specifically, you felt like we were kind of blue pilled, right?
I don't remember. What show was this one?
I remember it very, very well because that episode I was very careful of what I said because the kids watched it.
Talk to him, Paul.
So I was actually just researching. It's actually kind of funny is that they actually they've gained like 20,000 subscribers. I've been proved, so they're at 1.4 million.
Yeah, they're at 1.4 now. Yeah,
and I just think it's absolutely hilarious that Fresh and Fit, or two twins, or I just call them
Frick and
bitch,
Frack.
bitch. I just call them bitch and bitch. Is that
twin sisters?
Yo,
we running with that?
Yo, twin sisters. That's perfect. Like with the sisters over there, man. Like, it's pathetic, bro. Like, it kind of proves the point that they're not about what they talk about, right?
No. But I want because the thing is, I think that you have something really important to say, and one of the things I want to say before you say something on this, right, is that when ABBA called them out, he was not belligerent whatsoever. Notice that he's not aggressive. He addressed this about as diplomatically as a man can. Okay. And even with that, did you see that Myron's eyes went to Walter's, and then Walter says,
you felt like we were kind of blue pilled, right?
I don't remember. What show was this one?
I remember it very, very well because that episode I was very careful of what I said because
Oof. They didn't like getting called out on their bullshit. Like, look how the energy switched.
Myron wrote a check that Walter didn't want to cash. Check that out.
Pussy.
the kids watched it. That episode I was very careful of what I said because the kids watched it.
So I just want to ask you about that. Why do you think I might be blue pilled?
Well, from what I remember, I'm trying to remember. I would say blue. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, which video was?
It was the one.
I'm trying to remember.
I said I quoted it right to his face. Even the goofy fresh boy, he was like, "Oh, Abba came with the smoke."
I also find it funny that he came with the smoke.
Look at these comments. Look at the
shit.
King Kunta. Abba brought the smoke, but do you see the way he brought it though?
Bro, look, technology.
Look at the way he brought it.
Abba was the alpha at this moment, and he wasn't even trying.
And he didn't even get loud about it. Technological Chaos. Shout out to Technological Chaos. I know you from the Lead Attorney's YouTube channel. Much respect to you. Technological Chaos. Abba was the alpha at this moment, and he wasn't even trying. Castle Ford. Abba about that life.
Yeah.
Official Contras. Wish Abba and Preach could get some of our money. They made a great show. I hope I don't get banned. Woo! Jay Taylor. Abba came on the show prepared for this.
The idea that I wouldn't come to people and confront them about things they say, are you guys mad?
Ashley Burke. Finish him, Abba. The Ant West. G-Check. Smoke. Abba a real nigga. Faceless Man. Abba is real. Unusual. Never heard Myron stutter like this. He was sounding like Walt. He was sounding like Walter for a second there.
I actually thought it was Walter there for a second. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was a fucking
Like to today, son.
But don't ever come out here talking all this stuff. Just say you're a fanboy and you can't help simp for them. I'm not mad at it. Everyone, when I was a kid, Batman was magic. Everyone's like, Superman's better. I said, fuck no. Even though Superman got laser beam coming out his eyes, it's obvious he's better. But I get it. You know what I mean? That's Batman. Clark Kent. What?
Superman's stupid.
Stupid character. Definitely better, stronger.
I don't even know why this is an argument.
Agreed. I'm not a fan of Clark Kent.
That's why I didn't watch Batman versus Superman, because it's stupid. The movie should be 3.7 seconds long.
To use it.
Superman
Goku's
laser
not the
beams
strongest character,
Batman's head
'cause he's
into
stupid.
ash, and that's the end of the
Goku's
movie.
pretty weak, but that's a different story.
I hate
That's
the premise of that
nerd
movie.
shit. So
Fucking
if they
stupid.
say some more dumb stuff in the future, we're gonna cover it. The same way we covered Skippy, the same way we covered Amanda Seals, the same way we covered anybody.
I like Phil DeFranco. Phil DeFranco said some dumb shit. We covered it. Period.
That's
It
it.
ain't Two-Face.
All right. So you all do you. We got more videos of y'all we're going to react to. We're going to keep deconstructing the stupid shit y'all say. And if y'all want to stop watching, stop watching. I don't care. Tell us what you guys think. Do you guys agree with their apology? Disagree with us in the way we're handling it? We'll listen to everybody. I'll also be on IG in a little bit, so y'all can tell us what you
You'll be on IG in a little bit.
We can do that.
Cool. I'll be in Miami next week.
Yo!
You'll be on IG in a little bit.
We can do that.
Cool. I'll be in Miami next.
Yo, Seditionalist, you're late, guy. We're on our third 13-minute video. All right? So get it right. Look, yeah, I'm going to be in Miami next week. He's not trying to hear about no promoters, family.
Nah, man.
He doesn't want to sell any tickets. He wants to find a local boxing gym, get a referee, and then hear you talk that shit. He's willing to do it in the MMA style. He's willing to do it in a boxing style. However you want to be transported to the hospital waiting room, because, you know, the doctor will not be able to see you now. There's too many people deep-throating ventilators right now. He's about that life. No tickets, no promoters. What are you going to do? Or are you going to keep continuing to show us what you've already been showing us, which is you guys are betas. And what makes you worse than at least a regular beta understands that, you know, they're a beta. But you are trying to make yourself look like more than what you are. And if that's how you get in your money, I couldn't get money that way. But I guess, you know, I'd rather cry in a Lambo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Man. I don't know. But again, you know, RIP to Walter Weeks. RIP. Because you're about to get fucked up. Like dead ass. Yeah. Like you couldn't see Captain Paul in the fight, much less preach. I'm sorry. Sorry. It doesn't work, sir. No. We don't believe you. You need more people. Okay? We don't believe you.
No.
Myron's got a shot, but I'm not hopeful for him.
I don't know.
I think
I like, listen, man, I'll be honest with you. Like, Preach, the way he carries himself, dude, like, I kind of know.
I'm not trying to see that, man.
I know dudes like that. You don't want to meet dudes like that, because, like, when you're calm and shit, bro, listen, like I said, I've gotten into some scraps. You not like, oh, won every one, but like, I've gotten into some scraps. I had some dudes that had my back that just like Preach, bro. Say
And you're a hockey guy, you know,
bro. You don't want to.
So we know y'all get down.
But like, my thing is, bro, I know I've known dudes like Preach, bro, like off. Like, I had a friend of mine. He actually went back to Trinidad, but he was from Trinidad. He was like that, bro. Very calm. Like, you want to see it? Yo, well, all right. I'll see you in a little bit. Like, and he would, bro, calm as shit, but he beat that ass, man. Like, I don't think Myron's got a shot versus Preach, bro.
Nah, Myron, from what I understand, Myron's actually got some experience using his hands. That's why I give him. Also, remember, everybody's got a puncher's chance.
That's true.
But the difference is is that Walter Weeks is not a puncher.
No,
He's not a puncher.
he's a pussy.
Wow.
Yo, am I wrong? Like, you see the energy switch and how, like,
I'm not ready to
everything-
I'm not ready to call him a pushy until we see the gash on his
Ooh.
face.
Oh shit!
Because Preach is going to put one on his face. And the thing is, again, you're talking about one guy who's military trained in hand-to-hand combat in ABBA, and Preach, who is an amateur MMA fighter. And don't think
not
just
gonna go
because Myron is 6'4", he's like an inch taller than me. Don't think that height is going to save you in that circumstance. I guarantee you it will not.
You can always
Even with your reach advantage. When he gets inside on you, hits you with a body shot, I don't care how good your abs look.
You can chop.
It's going to be
trees
a
down.
fucking problem.
Bro, you can chop trees down, bro. Honestly.
Yo, we do. Yo, shameless plug. Every Saturday, the Filthy Casual MMA watch party. We watch actual real fighters get fucked up every weekend. So make sure you come and join us because we break it down, right? Also, let's give a shout out to our guy Justin James.
Yeah, man.
Justin James, unfortunately, was released from the UFC. We were looking to get him on the show. He was released from his contract with the UFC. We're still going to be looking to get him on the show if he's got like the availability. But we want to give him a shout out because he's a really tough fighter, and we wanted to get him on the show
And we still
prior to his next fight.
We'd
And-
still like to get him, and I'll just say this: it might not be completely over with his fighting. He might be going into a different. I don't want to.
Yeah, he'll probably go regional and
Yeah.
then try to work his way back to the UFC or be available on short notice. I didn't like how the UFC basically said, well, you're 1-4, and 4 of his 5 fights were in extreme short notice. I didn't have a good feeling about that whatsoever. So
Yeah.
we're, of course, we respect Justin James. We want to get him on the show so that he can join the Filthy Casual MMA watch party. I've got other guys that are fighters that are interested in joining us for that show to have the watch along. So I really do hope that you guys will come through. We got UFC Fight Night UFC Vegas 34, 35 happening this weekend, so we will be covering it. Miss Evil will be here with her lovely curly hair and what I believe to be a great set of natural titties. Okay, so I just kind of want to wrap this up. I'm gonna kind of just let you guys know why we put so much time into breaking down this situation. And for me, I'm gonna give my reasons. And I'm gonna let Captain Paul speak before we wrap it up. And also, you guys can also let us know what you think and feel on the subject. But the way that I see it is, part of how I fashioned how I'm approaching going into media for myself with my own money. Because that's something that Captain Paul and I have done. We've put thousands of our own dollars into our equipment, into our setup, into the platform that we stream from. We're paying this guy to do this work and all this other stuff. Like we are not bringing you content to make money at this point. We are continuously hemorrhaging money to bring you content. And we are going to put out more content more often and give our opinions on a whole bunch of different stories. Okay. We're going to review videos. We're going to review articles, all types of stuff going on in society. We're going to give our opinion on it. But we are paying to bring you content. I don't mind doing that. And I have respect for the fact that they did it. However, because I use them for inspiration to see that you are not living the life that you claim to live, that you have to continually shout at everybody how alpha you are. You have to keep showing people how much money you have. And those that watch Genius Take the Wheel on my personal YouTube channel, which we are also airing this on, when I was criticizing another YouTuber who's going out there buying his and her Porsches, why do you need to buy Porsches for the haters? Are you earning money for the haters? Or are you earning money for yourself and your family so that you can have the experiences that you deserve to have through your hard work? Right. No, I'm going to talk about haters because everybody's jealous of me. And then you saw Walter pull the same bullshit. Walter, none of us are jealous of you. Yes, Walter. I get less pussy than you do because I refuse to pay for it. I refuse to pay for the pussy. So yes, I get less pussy than you. But there is nothing about your life that I envy. Especially your future life where you're going to end up in your local hospital after Preach drums on your face with his fucking knuckles. In order for me to be a hater, you have to have something that I don't have that I can't get for myself. And listen here, motherfuckers. Anything you can get, I can definitely get it. There's no question about it.
Facts.
So when you don't live the life that you're talking, you swear everybody's jealous of you, you have to remind everybody every 14 minutes and 35 seconds how alpha you are. Okay? When you want to tell me about how you want a woman's soul, but I'm not going to collaborate you unless you lay on your back and starfish me. Because that's all you're going to get from a woman who is trading this for that. Mr. Weinstein, Myron Weinstein. See, that's the part that's unforgivable. Yeah. I can forgive all the rest of that stuff. I would still be subscribed to your channel. Even after all the shit you said about Preach's wife, because you ain't say shit about my wife, and even if you did, you don't know her. You can say anything you want to say about my wife. Omega Fraz Gaming actually missed everything. But that is the part that I can't forgive, Mr. Gaines. Mr. Myron Weinstein Gaines. I can forgive the rest of it. All the toothpaste stuff, simply because what you're saying is usually not wrong. But now, because of what you've done, you have taken your message, which was true, and you have poisoned it. And anything true you say, from henceforth, Mr. Weinstein Gaines, anything you say from henceforth is fruit of the poisonous tree. It does not matter how much truth you have to say about women from this point forward, because you have outed yourself as a misogynist. Not as a hater of women, but a man that has contempt for women. You did this. It wasn't ABBA. It wasn't Preach. It wasn't that prawn chick you had on there with the fucking gravelly voice. Sounding like Geodude. It was you.
You're wrong for that.
You, Myron, you're the reason why we don't have respect for you. And if you're the type of guy that takes accountability like you say you do, after hours is over. We don't want to hear you talk about women anymore. Talk about money, real estate, talk about all of that stuff. but we do not want to hear your opinion about women ever again. And that's what I got to say about that. You can let them know how you feel about it or what you think about it, Captain.
Honestly, you eloquently put in a lot of points I agree with, and I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet. Is that
Ain't nothing sweet about you.
true? But I think this, man,
You're a hockey player.
you gotta be about what you say you're about. If you're gonna talk the talk, walk the walk in life. If you are truly about that action, stand by it. I think the biggest thing that can be learned in this situation is that be true to who you are, right? And always try to improve as a person. I think Fresh and Fit, to me, they stopped evolving as men and they just got stuck in a certain loop where they became exactly what they, or maybe they were exactly what they hated. So they talked a lot about betas. They talked about this, but it was a lot of beta behavior. So I think the big learning experience here for young men is that to be a true alpha, you're a leader. And a leader isn't yelling, screaming, making racist, sexist attacks, trying to, ER women. That's not an alpha. An alpha male is able to be rational, be a leader, dictate how things should go, and help maneuver other young men and also help maneuver the women in their life that they're in relationship with, how things should go. So I just think they're not a good model to follow if you want to be an alpha, being loud, being in this weird, out of your masculine frame. That isn't being alpha. Being a leader and being a leader of men by using rationality, that's how you're going to be a true alpha. It isn't screaming, pounding on your chest. So that's pretty much all I have to say on that. I'm very disappointed with how this went out, but you know what? I'm not completely surprised.
Well, I have to say that we're gonna keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna keep on going, and again, I can't discount. I can't give these guys zero credit. The inspiration they gave me helped launch me on an even higher trajectory path of success. So I cannot take that away from them. Okay.
No.
But I have to stand on my principles as a man. And Omega is a long-term friend of Dr. Evil.
Oh, thank you, Omega.
The Dr. Evil Genius channel. So again, but definitely we got to move forward without Myron Gaines and Walter Weeks.
I agree.
Our job to try to uplift men has just gotten considerably harder.
But
and Myron Gaines, we have you to thank for that. Because the only thing that we're gonna have to do, the only thing that a girl power advocate has to do, is point to you to try to besmirch us.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for making our lives and our quest to try to help men and deliver a voice for men and for women who love and respect men. Thank you for making that job infinitely harder.
But like Evil said, we're putting our own money into this, putting our own hard work into this, and we're going to be bringing a lot of content, especially now that I've gotten things settled and moved in. So they may have failed you, but from their mistakes is where we will learn not to stray. And we're going to be bringing you some of the best content we possibly can on this channel. So make sure to stay tuned, subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the Twitch.
Yeah, because if you like Abba and Preach, our style with the way that we work off each other is kind of similar in that we're going to be covering a lot of topics, just not just, women are hypergamous. Yes, we know women are hypergamous. And we'll cover those stories too. But we're going to be covering a whole bunch of stuff. What's going on in Afghanistan, we're going to be doing a video on that. If not today, tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff going on in sports because we haven't really covered a lot of the sports stuff we wanted to cover. There's a lot of stuff going on in our personal lives that we can use to help motivate. If you guys watch my driving live streams on the Dr. Evil Genius channel, I do Genius Take the Wheel. Okay? And I just give you a stream of consciousness. Every time I come home from the gym, from working with clients, from working with myself, overcoming my own bitch-assness, I have to overcome my own bitch-assness every time I wake up. Anything that I can give you guys to help you enrich your life, to be happier people, to see the world in a little bit more of a positive light that it deserves, that also puts you on the track to realizing the things that you want. That's what you're going to find here in the Talking Shit podcast. We're going to talk our shit. We're not going to levy empty threats that, we can't back up. We're not going to do that. But we are going to talk our shit.
Facts.
And with that said, we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.